30 years had passed since monsters first appeared. Thanks to those who awakened supernatural power, monsters were no longer a threat to humanity. That shift gave birth to a new global sport, the Hunter League. And the hero of this story, Cole Phillips, had once been a living legend. After an underwhelming summer season and failing to reach the playoffs, everything changed. All his achievements and grind vanished in an instant, erased by just 2 bad seasons. Furious at the flood of fan comments, Cole slammed his phone onto the floor. His manager reported that this season looked like the hero's last. The president wanted Cole retired, with mandatory military service also on the table. It would have been easier if they had just told him to leave the team. Cole would lie if he said he never thought about quitting. Aging was inevitable, and his skills would only keep declining. Being told to become a symbolic team figure felt insane, especially after carrying them to victory alone. Emotions snapped, and the hero flipped the table. Cole headed for the door, deciding he should not listen to the manager anymore. The man lashed out, calling him an ungrateful bastard who showed zero respect. The manager yelled that this was why Cole's image was trash, and raising him was a waste. It felt like a knife in the back. Cole spun around and grabbed the man by the collar. The manager never raised him. He had grown too comfortable and forgot who brought him here. If only he had not pushed Cole to activate full bloom back in high school. Choking, the manager claimed he only did what was best for the hero. Cole calmed down and tossed him back into the chair. It was all because of him. Still, violence would change nothing. Cole felt completely worthless. He once held countless trophies, yet it ended like this. His high-rank skills and perks were still insane. One example was magical weapon transformation, but Cole had no room left to grow. All that remained was an aging body and a skill locked far too early. Full bloom blocked all future progress. Was there even a point in living anymore? Cole could not see one. Those thoughts sealed his fate as bright truck headlights filled his vision. Impact, chaos, pain, blood, screams. No, it was not true. He still wanted to keep trying. Cole wanted to hear the crowd chant his name again. He wanted another unreal performance on the stage that made his heart race. He wanted to claim first place with his team, with honor. That was the last memory from his previous life. Time travel was something everyone had imagined at least once. Regret followed all humans. So the urge to return to the past was natural, even if it was usually just fantasy. When Cole opened his eyes, he realized he was back on the first day of his career. The scan results were ready, and the doctor asked for a moment. He congratulated the hero's mother. Cole was truly awakened. The woman could not believe her eyes, while her son hurried her home. On the way, his mom warned him not to think about dumb dreams, like becoming a hunter. She said it was insanely hard, and TV hunters were elite league stars. Rare as legends. Cole wished he could say he came from a future where he was a legendary hunter, but she would never believe it. So Cole said he would prove it. His mom smacked him for that line. She wanted him focused on high school studies next year. Cole would prove her wrong. Let the past see what a legendary hunter could really do. Form was temporary, but class was forever. Hunter awakening tests used cutting-edge tech to analyze physical potential. Yet there was one thing the test could not detect: skills. Usually awakened people could only guess their skills and how to use them, but not Cole, because he possessed an all-seeing eye that revealed the essence of any target. As expected, Full Bloom, the skill that unlocks insane talent, had dropped back to rank E. Skill levels could be raised. Cole could always reclaim his perks later. What mattered now was syncing with his current body and skills. A pretty rough sight in the mirror. Suddenly, he heard his mom shouting that they had to monitor him for a whole year. His dad believed the boy should live freely and deserved that year, but his mother refused to let him act alone. She believed even a single year at Cole's age mattered, and chasing an impossible dream was a waste. Yeah, his mom was dead set against him becoming a hunter, and arguing with her was pointless. She suddenly shouted that everything could change in 1 year. And she was right. In a year, players could fight dozens of matches, stacking experience and sharpening skills nonstop. In Cole's past life, Full Bloom would have reached rank B if he had started a year earlier. That alone could have flipped fate. Cole walked to his parents and said he did not need a full year. 6 months would be enough, and he would prove it. Later, Cole went to a special center to train, but he was denied entry. The receptionist said minors needed guardian permission. He had forgotten that detail, since in his past life, he was an adult. Going home meant no training. Cole was thinking of another way when a guy tapped his shoulder and greeted him. It was Derek Clark's. In his past life, Derek was a close-range fighter who always ranked second or third in Division 1. He never took first place, yet was often compared to top-tier players. And it came easy to him. This time, Cole pretended not to know him at all. Derek explained he was from a parallel class and known at school as an awakened. To mess with him, Cole said he had never heard of him. Derek just smiled. Stuff like that happened. Then asked what Cole was doing there. Cole said he wanted to use the training hall, but needed parental approval. Derek said he was in the Academy Junior Club and had free access, meaning he had already joined. In return, he wanted to watch Cole train, since nothing came for free. It was annoying, but Cole had nothing to lose, so he agreed. The receptionist booked the hall, listing Derek from the Soul Club as guardian. In the locker room, Derek said he never expected anyone at school to want to be a hunter, meaning Cole. Derek was in the Academy Club, but most members were older, so fitting in had been rough. Cole would skip tryouts. Nobody trained here now. Everyone was prepping for league entry. Either way, the hero just planned to test his skills and run drills. Derek offered help since they went to the same school, still chasing attention, even in this life. Considering past life experience, Cole was decades older and had no need for help. On the field, Cole finished setting up a tank clone summon. Compared to video games, it was basically a hardcore training dummy. The difference was that it was so tough that leaving cover was nearly impossible. Derek thought Cole misclicked, since normal clones were used for practice. Even in training mode, doing anything at Cole's current level should be brutal. Cole drew his sword and noted that punching bags had to be sturdy. Derek tried to mock him, but the question stood: how do you break something solid? The simplest way was hitting it with something even tougher. Cole could not do that yet. But that did not mean he had no options. The answer was targeting the clone's joints. Doing so, Cole felt perfect control over his body. Next came the all-seeing eye, revealing every weak point. Cole struck them and cleared it cleanly, shocked at how smooth it went. Worth recording. Derek said it was sick and assumed the clone was set to minimum defense. Otherwise, only unique weapons could deal damage. Maybe Derek twisted what he saw, because believing it was hard. Still, Cole's movements were insane. He would pass academy trials, clearly trained with swords or spears. He wanted to try before his team training started. Cole did not need to explain anything. Derek would see it himself once he tried. Later, the guy swore he did the exact same thing. He also set the clone to minimum defense, yet the target took 0 damage. Derek figured he must have messed up the settings somehow. A senior was watching and asked if Derek wanted to greet him. The guy named Sean asked why he was fighting a tank clone. Derek said he was just warming up and doing light practice. Sean laughed. Who even warms up by fighting a tank clone? He told Derek not to be dumb, since even low settings would not take damage. Meanwhile, Cole was heading home, thinking about how weak he still was. The Universal Training Base only offered basic gear for hunter training. After Derek left, Cole could fight monsters he once faced in the Hunter League. He could also use the AI hologram function as a sparring partner. Cole concluded he was too weak. His all-seeing eye was only rank 8, limiting damage. His physical stats were barely above an average human. He needed to train his body. At least full bloom boosted regeneration. That required training, but time was tight. Evenings were club-only access. He could not keep asking his parents for permission every time. He needed a place to train alone. While searching online, Derek called him. Derek asked if he would come train and promised dinner. Cole entered a quiet spot, and Derek waved him over immediately. The guy clearly had cash. Derek admitted he actually had too much. Everyone knew becoming a hunter was nearly impossible without money. Tests and weapons were expensive. Still, saying too much money sounded cocky. Derek was the same as before. He always did everything to stay in the spotlight. Cole knew dinner was not about money and asked the real reason. Derek admitted dinner was just an excuse, and he had a question. Cole guessed it was about the tank clone. Derek copied everything exactly, yet nothing worked. So he wondered if Cole tweaked something. The talk stopped when they noticed someone. Guys in the same uniform as Derek entered the cafe, likely his teammates. They mocked how Derek tried to beat a tank clone with a sword and how pathetic it looked. Sean asked why, learning Derek copied a friend, joking he should ask if that friend shot lasers too. Sean laughed at the idiot, as he called Derek. So this was the guy who kept interrupting training. Cole could not let it slide. He answered loudly that no settings needed changing. It was easy if you knew the trick. Good that Derek tried to figure it out. since some idiots claimed it was impossible. That just meant they were incapable of doing it. Cole asked if nobody at the academy knew this or if admissions were bought. Derek begged him to stop. Sean walked up, put a foot on a chair, and asked who Cole thought he was to disrespect an academy student. He gave Cole 3 seconds to apologize before an awakened broke his bones. Pure movie cliches. Cole had really hoped for a free dinner. Cole stood up fast and swung straight into Sean's face. If someone gave him 3 seconds, this was the answer. The group never expected it. Cole never missed a chance to strike first. To Derek, Sean was a senior. To Cole, just a stranger, so he should not push it. Sean got furious and tried to hit back, but missed. He said nothing would be left of Cole if he landed a hit. The key word was if. Sean swung again and ate another fist to the face. Sean snapped that Cole had crossed the line, ready to flex his superpowers. The all-seeing eye warned the hero of incoming danger. Sean launched a gravity attack, but Cole's reflexes kicked in just in time. It was insane to use a skill like that around normal people. Sean lost control, smashing everything in his path. Cole did not want to go brutal, but now, Sean was basically done. Cole could dodge thanks to the all-seeing eye, yet closing the distance was tough. Fine then. Cole grabbed a plate off the floor and hurled it at Sean's face. Sean froze the plate mid-air with his ability. He mocked Cole, thinking a cheap trick could never work on him. While he talked, a soup-filled plate smashed straight into his head. After using a skill, a cooldown kicks in before it can be reused. Plates kept flying at Sean as panic set in and his skill stayed offline. Spamming skills without cooldown awareness leaves you wide open. When Sean recovered, Cole had vanished. Cole shouted head and slammed a punch into Sean's stomach. Then he shouted head again, leaving Sean guessing the next hit. This time, just as said, the punch landed square in the face. Sean hit the floor and took a full beatdown. It was over, but now came the fallout. Cole struck first, though he did not wreck the place. Sean was the only one down, while Cole had not a scratch. Derek and Sean's crew bailed, forcing a fast decision. Damn, police sirens wailed outside. No choice left. Cole scratched his own face to fake injuries. He splashed water on Sean to wake him up, then lay on the floor, putting Sean on top and playing the victim. As Sean stirred, rage pushed him to swing again. Derek's shouting stopped him as he pointed the cops to the fight. Seeing Cole supposedly beaten, the officer drew his gun and ordered Sean to stand down. Cole's acting fooled the police, leaving him consequence-free. Sean would likely stay silent, unwilling to admit a rookie destroyed him. Even admitting skill use would only worsen his situation. Later, Derek said Sean took heat from teammates and faced possible expulsion. Justice, it seemed, had landed clean. Derek asked if Cole planned to take a break. Cole refused, tuning the tank clone again without pause. Full Bloom granted awakened talent when he achieved something special. In short, the hero unlocked a new skill. With a shout, Cole struck the clone's head, awakening a talent called Name Your Attacks. Saying an attack name or pointing its target boosted power, even if words mismatched actions. Cole never expected the Sean fight to count as a special feat. He never saw this skill before. A perfect skill for making people think the hero was weird. At dinner, Cole told his parents he planned to enter a hunter survival show. He wanted to prove what he was capable of. Hunters the Next Generation was a TV show scouting and mentoring rookie hunters. His mom feared insane competition, while his dad said success required risk. She reminded him how his risky business once collapsed. Winning meant academy entry, or a 3rd division team spot. The cash prize was massive, plus custom-made weapons. His mom grabbed her head. Cole declared with confidence that he would go all in. Mom agreed, but warned him not to come crying if he lost. The show had savage competition, picking the most promising hunter candidate nationwide. Still, strong incentives existed for top performers, even without first place. Only the elite were chosen, so there was no need for his parents to worry. Cole once held countless trophies and would not lose to amateurs now. The show judges gathered to discuss things as applications were about to open. Linda Jones recalled a colleague saying, "Michael never wanted to be a judge. Yet, something changed his mind. Despite success, he felt distant from his homeland and hoped a hidden gem would appear among contestants." Judge Bill laughed, saying such talent would already be pro, as the Academy always scouts new stars. That was the issue, since true prodigies were eccentric and needed the right guidance. Linda added, these kids needed caretakers, not the league. And some judges already had favorites, like Ethan. The show description promised the next star who would carry the future of the Hunter League. Cole found it catchy, But the first stage turned out to be a written test. It required listing stats and affiliations, likely the Academy student's favorite part. In this life, he had not faced many hardships yet, so he moved to the next question. He had to describe group struggles, though in his past life, he simply forced teammates to obey. That was bad. He expected an easy run, not a trap like this. A practical test could fix things, so he pressed the button to proceed. He was warped into a vast space, amazed someone had such a skill from experience or traits. Maybe teleportation or illusion, but this stage clearly involved practice. A 3-minute clone trial required beating waves within the time limit. Weapons took the form imagined, and Cole instantly chose dual pistol. They matched what he used with magical weapon conversion, though other skills stayed locked. The countdown began as he activated his special vision. Dummies spawned, lacking the heavy defense of the tank clone. Cole planned to clear it as fast as possible. Judges watched as Linda shouted that something was wrong. This was not what they intended when designing the test. Anyone with a gun could clear these clones, so she called it cheating. His application did not help. Since he wrote his life had been smooth and problem-free, he also claimed he ordered his group around, making Linda think he was not serious. Michael partly agreed, since guns were not ideal hunter weapons. They were nearly useless in the league and unreliable against monsters. Once separated from the awakened body, a weapon's mana quickly dispersed. That meant each bullet needed mana infusion, an insanely hard task. Guns also stored little mana, so most hunters used blades or polearms. Only monsters like Ethan could fire mana-packed bullet barrages. Bill said the contestant intrigued him, and Michael agreed. The candidate showed sharp insight by exploiting a rule gap, and results mattered most. This was not the final round anyway, and disqualification was always possible later. Michael felt Cole viewed weapons differently, which sparked Linda's curiosity. Maybe the hero truly believed guns could work in the Hunter League. Michael doubted it, then decided to test him with a single pistol. The judge hoped the boy would prove him wrong. Meanwhile, Derek told the coach about the Sean incident, noting no serious injuries occurred. The situation felt off, since Sean lacked melee skill, but still had immense power. Yet Cole was unharmed, while Sean was nearly beaten to death. What was done, and the coach shifted to Derek's rookie show application. Derek wanted to explain, since filming would keep him busy for a while. The coach asked if the boy who fought Sean would also join the show. Derek had no idea, but promised to ask when they met again. The coach wished him good preparation, and they parted ways. The situation started taking a spicy turn. Sean was also planning to join the show, and the coach could not wait to see that clash. Cole arrived at the main stadium of the TV show. It had been a long time since he was here, the place where his journey once began. The Hunter League was split into 3 divisions. The first ran inside the tower, while the second and third used virtual reality stadiums. Cole once wondered why these stadiums were so massive when barely used. Now it was clear they existed for moments like this. Among the contestants sat several former Hunters finalists, starting with Freddie Hart. Then came Emily Stewart, and also Nathan Joan. This show aired long before Cole's debut, so seeing familiar faces surprised him. In truth, there were many recognizable names, along with new, promising figures. The question was, who would win? And this time, it would be Cole. Derek waved at him, signaling to take the seat nearby. He thought Cole would still be stuck in a hospital bed. To Derek, it looked like Cole had taken a serious hit. Sean was placed on probation and needed 3 weeks to fully recover. Cole asked how Derek ended up here, and learned he had no real choice. Pro teams hunted talent among academy students, so he had to shine. Smoke cleared above the stadium as the host appeared. He spoke about the constant hunger for new players and fresh faces. The birth of a legend destined to shape the Hunter League had begun. The host welcomed everyone to the most spectacular show on the planet. A tower formed from countless fragments before their eyes. Here, the audience would meet the greatest hunters of the next generation. Every contestant present had eclipsed countless awakened across the nation. The odds to reach the finals were 1 in 43, marking a new era of Korean hunters. The host moved on to introduce the 3 judges. Linda Jones, leader of the Korean Hunter League with 3 national titles. Michael Phelps, Korea's top global athlete and second place holder in the World Hunter League. And Bill Stevenson, a legendary figure among the national team players. The crowd erupted, shocked that Michael appeared despite overseas league events. These were huge names, on the same tier Cole once stood on. Even so, he did not believe he would lose to any of them. Contestants would face challenges designed by these judges. First place would earn 500 million won and a custom weapon from the Mora's workshop. Even standard Mora's gear cost hundreds of millions of won. Custom weapons were reserved only for those deemed truly worthy. Cole might reach his former peak far earlier in this life. Linda explained the first task, as these 100 hunters had surpassed 4,350 others. Still, that was too many, since the league needed real hunters. The first challenge was a survival game in a dungeon once cleared by true hunters. Contestants had to endure until only 20 remained. The top 5 would gain advantages in the next round. With that, the trial began. All participants were teleported to the battlefield. It was the land of lost souls, once used as a final stage arena in Cole's past life. Cole knew this place like muscle memory, from dungeon layout to core mechanics and even its ecosystem. Even the secret zone was clear to him, and a sharp grin formed as plans clicked into place. Linda believed survival mode would leave him no loopholes to abuse. Cole passed the qualifiers without showing real mastery, which already raised flags. One could call it raw intellect, but Linda was not buying that excuse. Survival games exposed true hunter basics like combat sense, scouting, and awareness. A fake would get wiped instantly, since the Hunter League was no joke. The overall skill level looked stacked, hinting Linda had cooked up something brutal. It was a clean way to filter out hunters lacking grit or experience. Suddenly, a woman shouted that one participant was leaving the mission zone. Bill asked for a closer look at the situation. It was Cole, standing before a strange, ominous door. Linda froze in shock, wondering how he even knew this place existed. A land of lost souls artifact was hidden there. Artifacts were dungeon treasures of countless forms and effects. Sometimes just claiming one meant instant victory. This dungeon had never been used before, so no one should know this secret. Not even First Division pros, let alone regular players. Yet, Cole was here. Michael suggested checking for an error, but Linda denied it outright. This VR dungeon mirrored a real one, and Cole accessed a hidden zone. No one knew about it, not even League players, which explained the blank map. Michael asked what was hidden inside that secret dungeon. It was Ether, a banned artifact so broken that Bill and Michael considered removing it. That required stopping the match, since Ether could not leave VR but worked in-game. Michael noted such power always came with a guardian. Guardians protected artifacts, and stronger relics meant deadlier guardians. Linda lit up, realizing he was right, and ran a check. The Ether Guardian turned out to be a cube. Cole finally stepped inside, his memories slightly hazy with time. Still, he found the spot he needed. Beating the Guardian and claiming Ether would make this round a cakewalk. The cube split into fragments, blasting blinding light. Cole jumped back fast, knowing this thing could kill him if unprepared. The cube was tagged as an advanced tech relic from Tower Ruins. He defeated it in a past final to claim Ether and lock victory. Finding it mid-match let him use it despite the ban. Using magical weapon conversion, he reshaped his sword into a crowbar. He guessed the same trick would work, leaping and swinging hard. Cracking a piece off took effort, but it worked. He hit the ground rough, but now had a fragment. A monster guardian would be impossible at his current stats. But this cube was a machine built to guard relics. Know its attack patterns, and it could be handled. The cube morphed into 2 massive hands. Cole timed their clap perfectly, barely clearing the crush. He did not miss the opening, and the hands shattered apart. Just before dodging again, he tossed the fragment between them. No matter how tough the cube was, its own piece matched it. Breaking was inevitable. Time to claim Ether, as a golden stairway rose toward a pedestal and chest. It had been ages since the hero last saw Ether, even if this one was only a replica. Everything went according to plan, the artifact resting in Cole's hands. He planned to mount it onto his weapon. An awakened talent appeared, Ether, allowing him to create an exact copy using his own mana. Defeating the Guardian counted as a special feat, granting Cole another skill. Pure luck. He switched back to pistols to test the new power. Judging by the bullet marks, this skill might let him rely on guns sooner than expected. In his past life, his mana pool was massive, enough to fire bullets made of pure mana. He had not activated full bloom yet, so his mana was far lower now. Still, Ether might let him pull it off. He was solid for suppressive fire, though landing precise shots stayed tricky. Cole could work around that. The judges watched closely as he picked up the pistols again. So this was how he intended to use Ether. But how did Cole dodge that laser shot earlier? The cube was not alive, so Michael assumed Cole followed a fixed pattern. The odds he knew that seemed slim, though Linda admitted pros like them could, not contestants. She suspected a foresight skill, predicting enemy actions. Even so, Cole figured out how to beat the Guardian using a cube fragment. Michael's words echoed about eccentric hunters hiding real potential. Meanwhile, Freddy was dominating, leading the kill rankings. Everything played out as Seoul Private Academy's first team predicted. With 60 survivors left, this round would end soon. Freddy felt no one could beat him in a straight duel. Then, he heard gunfire. Cole finally moved out, realizing he lingered too long as 60 were already eliminated. He could barely take first place if he wiped all remaining players. Finding everyone was impossible, so even 5th place sounded fine. Cole chose to hunt as many as he could. Suddenly, he spotted Sean hiding in bushes, stalking another contestant. Cole stepped up from behind and tapped the prankster's shoulder. Sean dropped in shock. Cole mentioned a small problem and hoped Sean could help him out. Sean exploded in rage, calling Cole a dead man. Cole replied calmly that he came for help, and Sean was acting rude. Sean only grew angrier and shoved him away, ready to use his skill. With wider range but weaker force, he could steal kills by sneaking in. Sean clearly had no intention of helping, but Cole planned to change his mind. Cole shouted words like head and stomach while swinging at him. Sean's face quickly filled with scrapes and bruises. Broken down, he asked what Cole wanted, and teamwork was offered. Sean refused, wanting nothing to do with him. A pistol appeared in Cole's hand. He fired a shot right beside Sean's foot. Then he aimed at his head, making the threat clear. Either Sean helped Cole and lived, or things ended there. Sean cracked and asked what he needed to do. 2 contestants fought in the forest, and Cole dropped them with one move. Someone hurled a sword at Sean and Cole from behind. Sean spotted it in time and stopped it using gravity. The gunfire was way too loud, pulling at a crowd like moths to a flame. Among them stood Freddy, clearly fired up and hostile. The Hunter League is a team game, and not everyone is built for pure offense. Sean held 3rd place with 8 kills, and his gravity skill was peak tier battlefield support. Michael noted Sean was doing solid, yet he might still end up as Cole's prey. Linda disagreed, believing Cole would have already shot if he wanted him gone. To the judges, it looked like the two were talking, as if Cole planned to use Sean as support. They wondered how Cole found the right partner. Sure, the two had not met before. Did Cole have a skill to read others' abilities? Or was Michael overthinking it again? Bill felt they made a strong duo, with Sean locking enemies down using gravity. Meanwhile, Cole would wipe them out with an ether-charged pistol. Michael stayed cautious, sensing the enemy would not fall that easily. 4 contestants, led by Freddy, closed in, pushing the fight toward its peak. Victory here was not about raw power, weapons, or flashy builds. The simplest tactic was numbers, overwhelming the enemy through sheer count. Cole had Sean and gravity on his side, but Sean was still just support. From Freddy's view, the odds favored him and his group. Cole dodged a sword slash, something he had not felt in ages, but for Freddy, it was new. Freddy did not know what changed, only that Cole now wielded something abnormal. Freddy hurled another blade, intent on erasing Cole from the match. Cole fired back at the same time, the flow of battle staying clean. In his past life, Freddy could control multiple swords with telekinesis. Right now, he could not, and blocking a storm of bullets was rough. Freddy ducked behind a tree, hiding from the incoming shots. Unlike before, he was fighting smart this time. Another fighter rushed Cole up close, clearly lacking experience. Rushing a gun user at point blank meant 0 mischance, 1 less enemy. Cole pushed forward and used the all-seeing eye to spot 2 hiding in bushes. He planned to take them out, while Freddy stayed pinned down. First, the swordswoman fell. Then, the archer followed. Cole now had 7 kills total. Only Freddy remained. Freddy's ability to deflect shots was insane to watch. Even more so, considering Cole's bullets moved slower due to low mana. Still, Cole was better, and Freddy struggled more with each second. Cole activated the all-seeing eye and fired while Freddy focused on defense. He felt genuine hype after landing the hit. That rush ended as the trial timer ran out and 20 survivors returned. With a bit more time, Cole could have wiped them all. Bad luck. The judges congratulated the survivors, each earning the right to be called a true hunter. Considering hunters were a tiny fraction of the awakened, this was huge. The League sought people like the first hunters, those who once protected humanity. Michael believed the survival game showed what being a hunter really meant. Details of the next challenge would be revealed the following week. Until then, contestants were free to use the training facility. Michael strongly advised visiting at least once. Then, the rankings appeared. Cole placed 5th overall, while Freddie claimed first. The challenge ended, and the awakened talent ether stayed with Cole. Derek rushed over and hugged him, having heard about the 5th place finish. Cole asked how Derek himself had done in the rankings. Derek nodded, since everyone kept talking about Cole using a pistol. Derek was dying to know how Cole even got one and made it fire properly. At that moment, producers approached and told the hero to get ready for an interview. They seated him in front of a green screen and started filming. The first question asked why Cole decided to join the show. Cole figured there was simply no better candidate than himself. The host congratulated him on reaching the finals and asked about the first stage. Cole said things could have gone better, but he cleared the trial as expected. He faced many rivals, yet none felt truly worthy. Cole was slightly wary of Freddie, but did not see him as a real rival. The host then asked how Cole ended up only in 5th place. With a sly grin, he replied that rushing to the top from the start would be boring. The host and cameraman were stunned. This guy was built different. After the interview, many contestants gathered in the cafeteria for lunch. Derek sighed, and Cole asked what was bothering him. Derek said answering interview questions was pure torture. They kept comparing him to Sean, which made things awkward. That made sense, since Sean always bullied him, and Derek avoided trashing seniors. So Derek said his rival was not Sean, but Cole. That somehow felt even worse than just agreeing it was Sean. Derek asked what questions Cole had been asked. Cole said they were basic things, like who would win. Obviously, Cole said he would, maybe mentioning Freddie or Emily. Derek admitted Cole was solid, but said those two were on another level. They were basically the aces of the academy. Derek believed they could easily play in the Pro League. He was sure Cole would think the same if he saw them fight. Cole was annoyed that Derek kept placing them above himself. Thinking like that would never lead anywhere, so those thoughts had to go. Cole stood up and said he was heading to train. Maybe he was harsh, but it needed to be said. Most people had similar talent, with only rare exceptions. Those who surpassed everyone else were the ones staring straight at the peak. Seeing yourself as inferior made no sense, especially at Derek's age. Suddenly, a guy named Dustin approached, having heard Cole fought Freddie. He was curious, since Freddie was undefeated in the academy, which shocked him. Dustin asked for his name, and Cole answered, then asked what he wanted. Dustin said Freddie was furious when the survival game ended. Freddie grabbed Dustin by the jacket and dragged him away, apologizing. Honestly, Cole had no idea what just happened. He heard they were both from the academy and got along well. Cole decided to check them with the all-seeing eye. Freddie had top-tier sword control and acceleration skills. Dustin was stacked with raw power and strength. Without full bloom active, some of their stats beat Cole by 50% or more. Ether carried him this round, but the next one would not be easy. The dream of countless rookie hunters aiming for pro status was starting now. The judges gathered, discussing Freddie, the top contender from Seoul Private Academy. In his interview, Freddie said becoming a hunter was his childhood dream, but the road was rough. He failed the academy entrance exams twice, yet never gave up. Freddie realized that grind always pays off and learned how to refine himself through effort. That is why he believes persistence and iron resolve are the real keys to breaking any wall. Derek and Cole did not expect the show to air so fast. Tech had jumped way ahead. The comments were solid. Many said Freddie's answers felt dry and boring. Still, people respected his humility, while the next contestant went off script. Then Cole saw himself pop up on the phone screen. In the interview, he said his path to becoming a hunter had no real hardships, and if teammates let him make the calls, things would run smooth. Freddie chased self-improvement, while Cole simply believed no better candidate existed. One thing united them. Both saw no worthy rivals ahead. Cole turned off Derek's phone and suggested hitting the gym. Derek looked bummed. They had not even reached the survival game parts. Cole told him to watch the replay later. Derek wondered why Cole was training only his legs. Cole asked about Derek's role. Ranged fighters needed raw damage above all. Mobility mattered too, something Derek likely noticed in the survival game. Elite melee fighters like Freddie had insane mobility, or attacks deadly enough to threaten ranged units. That is why Cole's mobility had to match melee fighters, or beat them. Suddenly, a man entered the gym and corrected Cole mid-thought. In the Korean League, strategies focused on deleting ranged fighters were rare. He asked Cole's opinion, clearly not a normal guy with access like this. Cole replied that against teams like British ECG or French ALD, it was different. Those teams targeted ranged fighters first. It all depended on which ranged fighter you faced. That alone justified Cole training legs, the man smirked. So Cole claimed his ranged skills would make him priority prey. The man laughed at the bold claim, intrigued. Still, Overconfidence often led to failure. He said to take it as advice from years of experience and promised to watch Cole. The man left behind more questions than answers. If he was watching, Cole had to prove his worth. That man, Adam Steinberg, first-generation hunter and chairman, sat later in his office. His aide said ranged fighters needed support skills and attack power most. Adam disagreed. Power meant nothing without accuracy. Accuracy mattered. Then he waved it off, lost in memories. Once, he asked a comrade why he only trained legs, not mana. The answer was simple. Legs were everything for ranged fighters. Monsters always rushed them, knowing they were weak up close. Young Adam was shocked how simple it sounded. Being spotted meant death. Adam struggled to grasp it as a melee fighter. But it was true. Mobility defined ranged fighters, even in the league. Not in today's league, though. Most top hunters had died. In high-tier leagues, especially global ones, it was absolute truth. Cole was not even in the league yet, already eyeing the world stage. Was it ego or confidence? His stats grew faster than last life. Likely thanks to Full Bloom, a skill with 2 traits. It granted talents after key feats, basically new skills, and massively boosted stat growth, a truly broken ability. Derek asked what Cole planned after training and wanted advice for himself. Derek stayed in solid shape from academy drills, so he did not need to grind as hard as Cole. Cole replied that he did not know Derek well enough to give real advice yet. With a dark grin, Cole suddenly suggested a duel. They stepped onto a special combat field built for sparring. Derek was shocked to see Cole handle a sword with real skill. Derek would have no chance against Cole with pistols, but in swordplay, he believed he could hold on. Cole moved first, pressing forward, while Derek defended under heavy pressure. Derek could not figure it out. It was a normal sword, yet fighting felt insanely hard. Cole was using magical weapon transformation. Derek assumed the struggle came from the gap in their talents. He could not close the distance, and suddenly, Cole held a massive blade. Derek had no idea how to block that strike. In the end, he collapsed on the floor, drained. Cole asked what Derek thought about his supposed rival now. Derek admitted Cole was stronger than him. Then Cole revealed he had been holding back, and he did not look like he was joking. Derek felt crushed, almost to tears, wondering if he lacked that much talent. Cole suddenly named the real reason for the loss. Wrong weapon. Cole pointed at Derek's sword and highlighted its strengths. With his speed skill, Derek had surprise and lightning-fast decisions. Pairing that with a longsword made no sense at all. Instead, a light, fast weapon like a rapier fit him perfectly. Cole pulled one out, saying that with Derek's skill, rapid strikes would shred enemies. Derek had never even considered that option. After training, Derek said he was still unsure, but an idea had formed. Suddenly, Cole heard talk about himself. Like he got cocky after beating academy trash. It seemed one guy had been watching them the whole time. Clearly, Cole rubbed him the wrong way, and the guy wanted trouble. Cole never ignored stuff like that, so he asked if the guy could back it up. At first, the guy thought he misheard, but Cole was crystal clear. Cole proposed a fight, unless the guy was scared stiff. Furious at the disrespect, the guy agreed, then hesitated. It was Liam, the same one who tied with Cole for 5th in the survival game. His skills and stats were impressive, dwarfing Cole's raw numbers. Cole would lose if it was pure power, so Liam suggested a combat room. Cole said he would not even need pistols to wreck someone like Liam. Liam was a top rookie, and pistols would not surprise him anyway. They decided to start, and Cole had a real chance of losing. That did not mean backing down. Cole swung first. Liam hurled 3 daggers at once. A mid-range fighter, Liam tried to keep distance while Cole pushed in. Cole blocked the first 3 daggers, but not all in time. Luckily, Ether from Full Bloom blocked the hit. Without it, Cole would have been done, as Liam kept throwing knives from range. On top of that, Liam used telekinesis. Sure, he had the edge. Yet Cole somehow deflected the blades, hiding a trump card. Cole transformed his sword into a dagger and threw it. Liam laughed, confident telekinesis would stop it easily. Cole expected that reaction. The first dagger was bait, setting up the real strike with the rest. Liam stopped 4 knives with telekinesis, but he could not sustain that skill on multiple targets at once for so long, which meant the last blade he fully halted would still strike him while his focus stayed split. The system declared Cole the winner. Michael and another man watched closely. The judges predicted champion. The man he showed this to put on analysis glasses. He noted Cole's sharp battle sense and how smart it was to hide 3 knives, especially since Cole's raw stats were not that high. Michael already knew this, and the man felt he understood something deeper. He wondered what kind of skills Cole truly had. There was no way that plan worked without knowing the enemy used telekinesis. Michael suspected something like an analysis eye, like his, or first-gen hunter Philip Kreiser. The analysis eye was absurdly rare and powerful, known in only 2 people. Maybe they were hyping Cole too much, just for predicting a skill, but Michael felt they might be underestimating him. Cole knew about the hidden dungeon, and during qualifiers, he aimed only at the clone's cores. If Cole debuted in Division 1, people would call him Kreiser Reborn. Michael was sure the man wanted Cole on his team. And that was true. His own analysis eye could see stats, but not skills. Yet Cole knew the enemy's telekinesis and built a winning strategy. The man asked which team Cole would join, clearly impressed. Sadly, show sponsors held priority in team selection. Grinding his teeth, the man swore to find a way to claim Cole. Meanwhile, Cole had no idea what Full Bloom counted as special achievements, and he was not in a rush to figure it out. Derek trained hard and believed he could now beat Cole. Cole told him not to talk nonsense, but Derek felt fired up. His swordsmanship had never been this sharp. He truly improved. After following Cole's advice, yet he still had no real chance. Soon, all contestants were summoned to a special classroom. Cole and Derek took their seats, wondering if they would be taught something. The judges entered, Linda greeted them, and asked about the week break, or rather, a week of training. Productive for some, and not so much for others. Either way, she believed they still had a long road ahead. Each of them was a promising talent with serious potential, but a massive gap still stood between them and pro hunters. That was why the judges assembled a mentor team for them. Each of the 3 mentors had Division 1 experience and major wins. They would instruct, evaluate, and train functional roles. The contestants would be judged in a mini hunter league, 3 versus 3. Even raw mana pressure alone was enough to dominate the room. A mentor named Bruce Tiles would train melee fighters, hating the uncommitted. He despised those lacking grit or hiding in ignorance, but hated arrogant fools most. Mr. Tiles told them to stay humble and take the lessons seriously. After reviewing qualifiers, the survival game, and last week's results, the judges assigned roles to everyone. Once named, they would move to their mentors. First was Cole, assigned to the melee team. A total shock. He could not figure out why the hell he was placed here. Freddie was here, Emily was here too, and Derek as well. The group was stacked with promising talent. Mr. Tiles stepped onto the field and told them to forget everything they had learned before. He did not care which academies they came from, since all of them were weaker than 3rd Division hunters. As they likely saw in league matches, hunters rely on skills or devices, mana-activated mobility tools like Air Anchor and Air Step. These tools make fights faster, flashier, and far more dynamic. Mr. Tiles would train them to use Air Anchor and Air Step. He did not need melee hunters who could not handle them, so training began. Using them for the first time was definitely rough. In his past life, Cole used them like extensions of his body. Now it was time to see if muscle memory remained. Mr. Tiles raged at their failures, saying they were meant to become stars of the Korean Hunter League. The 3rd Division was known as a rookie graveyard, a perfect trap for fools like them. The mentor was loud enough that Cole struggled to focus. Derek also seemed to be having trouble. That was expected since they were given 0 instructions. Derek was doing it wrong, and Cole told him to descend. Derek asked if Cole plans to train, since Mr. Tiles would test them. Cole said Derek should worry about himself, doubting he would succeed like this. Derek asked what he should do, and Cole told him to set the mana rope length first, then maintain a constant mana flow, or the rope length would keep shifting. That was why Derek lost balance, and he also needed to focus on his center of gravity. In the air, his body itself had to become the center. Cole demonstrated, landing cleanly on his feet. That made preventing falls and repositioning much easier. The key was maintaining a steady mana output. Derek repeated it mentally and tried again, shocked when it worked. He said Cole must be talented since it worked on the first try. Mr. Tiles yelled at them for talking since they were not here to have fun. He called them useless and asked for Cole's name. Cole introduced himself, sensing the mentor trying to rein them in, which he did not care about. Mr. Tiles said it looked like Cole was doing nothing because he trusted his own strength. Cole replied that it seemed true and he could step back. But he was curious how they planned to test Air Anchor and Air Step. Considering his past life, Cole was older, and elders had a duty to guide juniors. Mr. Tiles decided they had enough time, and began the test. Michael angrily asked why Cole was listed in the melee team, suspecting Linda made a mistake. He thought Cole would be placed in ranged combat, and Linda had considered it. Cole handled melee weapons well, but more importantly, he was too selfish. So Linda assigned him to Mr. Tile's group, clearly part of her plan to push the rookie against a first division hunter and break his arrogance. Linda felt it was fine and wanted to drag the cocky upstart back to earth. The test required reaching the air anchor above, and Mr. Tiles hoped that the one confident enough to slack off would finally show his worth. Otherwise, he did not deserve to be a hunter. It looked like he was trying to eliminate Cole with this test. Cole then asked what the mentor would do if he actually succeeded. Mr. Tiles promised him total freedom to do whatever he wanted in class. The mentor was sure it was impossible, since the anchor floated 100 meters above the floor. That height was unreachable for first-time users. Even mid-level users failed, and everyone else crashed hard. Then Mr. Tiles noticed Freddy using his sword to launch upward, something beyond simple telekinesis. Too bad he skips the air anchor, but maybe he could still climb higher. Everyone also stared at Cole's insane agility. Mr. Tiles turned around, seeing Cole move like he had zero fear of falling. Suddenly, air step failed him, and he started dropping fast. Lucky timing saved him, as he grabbed the anchor and regained balance. Now Cole was inches from the top anchor, and of course, he secured it cleanly. Mr. Tiles could not believe it, since these rookies were using the devices for the first time. The next day in class, the lecture covered 2 core melee combat roles. The first were initiators, whose job was to start fights and crush enemies. Theory after practice felt boring, and Cole nearly fell asleep, knowing Mr. Tiles could not touch him now. The second role was standard melee fighters, entering combat after the initiator. There were more roles in detail, but this was enough for now. Cole only cared about winning the bet, and after years in the league, this was easy mode. Still, a mysterious note somehow ended up in his pocket. It invited him to meet after class, 7 o'clock behind the training center. Someone wanted to show him something interesting, so it was worth check. Cole arrived, but found no one there, suspecting a bad joke. His all-seeing eye revealed something hidden underground. As he stepped closer, stairs opened, leading downward. He carefully descended into a secret area. Chairman Adam was waiting there, and Cole already knew who he was from research. Adam smiled, seeing Cole had found the path. Cole thought the note was useless, since no normal person would find this place by that cliff. Adam was clearly testing him, so Cole wondered why he was summoned. The chairman had watched every moment of Cole's show footage so far, and that was far from all he knew about him. Adam had also seen his training sessions. Cole's mobility and awareness impressed him deeply. Adam decided to guess the winner of the show. He believed it would be Cole, and not just that. Adam was certain Cole would reach the first division, and maybe even beyond. Cole still wanted to know what was being shown to him. Adam pressed a button, and massive doors began to open. Behind them stood S-rank weapons, along with specialized mana equipment. Cole questioned why he was shown this, and Adam wondered if he really did not want that. Of course he did, especially seeing weapons he once used. Caliburn appeared, the legendary blade he earned in a showcase duel long ago. The sword felt perfect to wield, and even deadlier when transformed into a gun. Adam offered to lend him one weapon, but Cole asked, why not just give it? Adam implied Cole would understand if he knew the real price of such arms. They were far more valuable than Mora's workshop gear, and Cole sighed at that truth. He cut to the point, asking what Adam really wanted, surprising the chairman. Most people tried to flatter him once they knew he was a first-generation hunter, but this kid looked down on him instead. A rare and refreshing sight. Adam offered Cole to join the Hunter Association, not as staff, but as an active hunter. If he joined, Adam would let him borrow any weapon displayed there. But what would Cole gain from it? He knew what joining the association meant, yet he saw no benefit for himself. And if that was all, he was ready to leave. Another class was about to start, and Adam stopped him, hinting Cole might overrate himself. He mentioned many young talents who shined in second and third divisions, but went no further. Cole did not care. The only thing that mattered was whether he could go beyond. He appreciated the tour and calmly said goodbye to the old man. Cole left, while the chairman stood there, stunned and oddly impressed. Cole returned to the room, where Derek worried he would be late again, especially after the Mr. Tiles incident. But Cole said he was not that careless. Being late would not get them kicked anyway, since the show had to go on. Still, Cole mentioned that an old man had asked to meet him. To be honest, he could have accepted the offer, but with his experience, he could handle things without borrowed weapons. Winning would earn him custom gear from the Mora's workshop anyway. Cole decided to wait until his value rose, then play his real hand. And if that failed, he would just build his own team. The judges hoped mentor lessons paid off, as it was time to use new skills. Contestants would fight in 3-on-3 battles in the aerial combat zone. Winners advanced, losers were instantly disqualified. To raise the stakes, the judges prepared a special reward, a mana flow stone. It boosted both mana capacity and efficiency, exactly what Cole needed. He would need more mana once new skills unlocked. It looks like he had to win this round, since this marked real qualifiers. Everything would be recorded live, and in fact, filming was already ongoing. Training results determined order, and the top scorer chose teammates first. With that settled, Michael sent them to waiting rooms to form teams. They would meet again when 3-on-3 battles began. Judges off camera now. Cole performed well in survival, but he was undeniably arrogant, highly capable, yet lacking empathy for others. Linda believed this flaw would block him, since the game was team-based. She set a team round in the aerial arena despite 20 contestants remaining. Given her style, a solo skill round would have made more sense. Michael said contestants were not ready for team fights, and Linda knew it. She admitted she wanted Cole disqualified, regardless of his control. With air anchor or aerial combat, standing alone meant being wide open. On a huge arena, rapid long-distance movement was mandatory. Cole would again suffer from low stats, and Michael had never seen her fixate so hard. Linda believes Cole had talent, but right now he needed humility, Bill agreed. Excessive self-confidence was dangerous, especially for rookie hunters. Even first division players could crash instantly if careless. Michael argued confidence leading to victory and arrogance leading to ruin were two sides of one coin. Now they would see how Cole handled obstacles set by the judges. The hosts announced Cole was first. With the highest score, he earned the right to choose 2 teammates. Cole picked Sean and Liam and pushed them to go all out. Liam bristled at being chosen, acting like Cole was mocking him. Clearly, Liam still could not accept losing to Cole. Sean posed no issue, since he had seen everything firsthand and was still just a kid. Cole said he would take the lead role in this round, stepping up as the core force. He trusted the guys' abilities and chose to rely on them fully. Liam was stunned at first, but eventually softened up. Chasing victory makes people do wild things. And Liam asked if there was a plan. That was exactly why Cole picked them both. They had to follow his calls. The guys whispered among themselves while Cole promised something big. Liam yelled in shock, thinking Cole had to be joking. Too bad Cole could not explain that he came from the future. He simply told them to do as instructed and not screw it up. If Liam failed, it would only help the enemies. So they agreed to lock in. The 3-on-3 mini Hunter League battle began in the aerial combat zone. Touch the ground or become unfit to fight, and you were instantly out. Defeated contestants were eliminated as judges wished everyone luck. Cole focused and teleported onto the battlefield. It was time to move. He appeared on a skyscraper southwest of the center, sensing no one else inside. Sean was in the southeast, Liam on the eastern side between center and edge. They stayed connected through comms, moving by Cole's plan, bound to meet later. For now, Sean and Liam just had to head toward the center unseen. If they ran into anyone, they were to retreat immediately. Only 3 teams existed. On such a massive arena, bumping into rivals early was unlikely. That meant Cole had to draw enemy attention somehow. Then, a shot rang out. It did not matter who fired the arrow. They likely had not regrouped yet. Cole ignored it and pushed toward the central high-rise. Sean and Liam reached their spots and found solid cover. Cole checked their visibility. They needed eyes on him. They could see fine, though Cole probably stayed unseen from their angle. It was time. Cole fired straight into the sky and waited. Dustin appeared immediately, questioning Cole's presence. He bragged about his luck, claiming Cole would be his first victim. Dustin meant to report to Freddy, but forgot his mic stayed open. Freddy told him to stall and kill Cole if possible, and Cole heard it all. Freddy was already moving, so there was no time for games. Otherwise, Cole would face 2 enemies at once. Best case scenario. Dustin kept talking non-stop, fishing for details about Cole's success. Endless chatter, as if he assumed Cole was alone. Dustin claimed if Cole had backup, they would have attacked already. He apologized, but still wanted details of the Cole versus Freddy clash. Dustin was far stronger than Cole, exactly as expected. Distance was key. Cole pulled away using the air anchor. Dustin mastered air step too and chased after him. He handled the pursuit well and kept talking, even mid-air. Cole jumped to another building. Then he opened fire. It failed. Dustin deflected the bullet, proving real potential. Pistols alone would not stop him. Cole's ether was weaker than the one from the survival game. A quick takedown was impossible. The weapon lacked power. His mana pool was limited, and Cole suddenly halted. Freddy finally arrived, clearly serious, and Cole warned Sean and Liam to get ready. As Freddy closed in, Cole gave the signal, but the guys did not appear. Freddy and Sean panicked at first, then decided it had to be a bluff. Freddy pushed again with telekinesis, chasing Cole and thinking he could not fool them. They had no clue that Sean had already launched a gravity attack. Cole started falling, and Freddy thought he was done for good. 1 second later, they started falling too. Liam caught Cole midair with telekinesis, saving him from the drop. No one was there to save Freddy and Dustin. They realized they messed up hard and were eliminated on the spot. Cole felt his body crushed from all sides. Painful, but still manageable. Liam never imagined he would use telekinesis like this one day. Cole's plan worked, though a direct clash would not have ended so clean. He baited the enemies into chasing, pulling everyone into the air. Sean shocked them with gravity, while Liam secured Cole with telekinesis. The enemies met a different fate, but the match was not over, so Cole stayed sharp. Other contestants may have seen it, meaning this trick would not work twice. Meanwhile, Emily wiped out 3 hunters solo, exactly as expected from her. It was time to announce the winners, and it was Cole's entire team. Emily scolded Freddy and Dustin for losing to Cole and dropping so stupidly. She was stunned by how badly they blew it, despite past experience. Dustin tried to justify it, saying Cole's strategy was flawless, and caught them cold. Freddy apologized, admitting he should have acted more carefully. In his past life, Cole thought the same way, analyzing losses instead of raging. Liam came over to apologize for his harsh words earlier. He got embarrassed and left, saying Cole already seemed to have moved on. Liam looked like the type who struggles to admit fault, even under pressure. Linda could not believe how easily Cole's team crushed everyone. A shocking result. It was pure strategy, beating raw power, and Michael had called it. The match was not even meant to test strategic thinking. Building a plan using only teammate skills was no easy task. Even more wild, Cole picked teammates he barely got along with. The first round ended and the champions stepped onto the stage. They earned the most points, each receiving a mana flow stone. The first step of Cole's plan was finally complete. With this artifact, awakening full bloom might actually be possible. The host wished them glory, legends, and maybe even the world stage. Others, deemed unworthy of the Hunter title, faced elimination. It was a competition after all. Cutting players was inevitable. 13 contestants were removed, and Derek was among them. The next trial required 2 people to work together as a team. Teammates had to move in sync and capture a control point. The captured zone had to be defended for 1 full minute. Or there was another way. Kill zones allowed ranking up by defeating opponents in combat. With an odd number of players, 1 qualified person could be invited as a partner. That partner would not be eliminated, even if points were low. As expected, Freddy and Emily teamed up. The obvious power move. The easiest path forward was choosing a strong partner. Derek still had no pair, and avoiding elimination looked rough. Fate was unclear, but elimination awaited, and it was risky. Derek ran up to Cole, hoping for help since they went to the same school. With no one else around, he asked anyway, but Cole firmly refused. Derek started begging. Cole told him to switch weapons and dropped advice, somehow ending up as his mentor. Cole had no idea how he became a mentor. Whatever. He caved in. He would help, mostly because he had nothing better to do. Cole also wanted to test the mana flowstone and see how it affected his skills. He warned Derek to obey completely. This was the last favor. That night, alone in his room, Cole took out the stone. Time to test it. The owner slowly absorbs the artifact, increasing total mana over time. Swallowing it boosts skill levels instantly. Cole had used such stones before Rebirth, and this one worked the same. All-Seeing Eye, Magical Weapon Transformation, and Full Bloom improved. The Awakened talent Name Your Attacks strengthened, along with Ether. Core stats rose, and total mana increased by 1. Before, Ether only stalled enemies. Now, it might hit harder. The boost could rival the original artifact from the survival game. Perfect timing. Cole already had a plan for tomorrow's trial. He went to sleep. Tomorrow would be rough. A dream followed. It began with a small company on the brink of bankruptcy. After awakening, Cole unlocked his abilities fast. A company director invited him to join, promising growth. In return, he demanded early activation of Full Bloom to enter the league. Cole was warned the effects would be weak at his level, So he wanted to wait. He joined, but did not unlock it and was benched. The director pressured him. Players were called expendable tools, and Cole was said to be nothing special. Cole finally awakened full bloom. The director was thrilled. Cole kept rising, won the championship, and carved his name into history. But early full bloom led to early decay. Cole woke in horror, bad memories, but this life was different. Success awaited. He had built his foundation earlier and stronger than his peers. Even now, beating top rookies was still hard. More work was needed. Strengthened bloom would push him higher. To hell with the past life. Cole met Derek at the center and asked if he was ready. Derek claimed full readiness, with warm-up and strategy planned. Cole was surprised he had his own plan. Derek's strategy was to do whatever Cole said. Cole hoped for something smarter. Clearly, that was wishful thinking. Everyone gathered at the stadium for elimination support. Who would drop out today was about to be decided. Cole teleported in. A normal city map appeared. Derek asked for the plan. Cole said, straight to the center. Their goal was the capture point, not kill zones. They would rush the center. Derek panicked, knowing Freddie and Emily were there. Those two would attack anyone entering. Was charging the Lion's Den smart? Cole said with that mindset, Derek might as well go home. Derek suggested thinking it through, but prep time was ending. When the match starts, they sprint. 10 seconds left. No one here mastered airstep and anchor like Cole. First move was reaching the capture point and delaying others. Emily was holding a grudge. Cole forced her to fight 3 alone before. Without him, they would not even be here. Freddie wondered what Emily was thinking about. It was obvious. Emily remembered how Cole played them before. She grabbed Freddie and pushed him to stay sharp. He had to lock in on the goal. All that mattered now was avoiding dumb mistakes. Freddie got it, but felt Cole was trickier than she thought. Emily knew and had it mapped out. In the 3 versus 3 match, she lost, only because she hid her skills too hard. This time, she would go all out and do everything to avoid defeat. No more overthinking. If she impressed the judges, elimination was off the table. Emily picked a simple plan. Clash with Cole up close and drop him in one hit. Cole wondered why Derek was still behind. The guy could not keep up. Cole had taken a solid position. He did not want to stall. Once Derek arrived, they would take the capture point. Derek still doubted it, knowing all eyes would be on them. Cole had a plan. He told Derek not to rush or hide to make sure others noticed him. From that insane distance, Cole sniped one participant. A clean headshot? Absurdly strong. It felt just like Ether from the survival game. It rivaled Ethan's level. No. Cole had already surpassed that in his past life. Now, he beat even himself. Another shot dropped a second player. Derek flinched at the loud blast and reported it. Cole confirmed it was him. Cole told him to turn to 9 o'clock and move that way. Cole would be on the 2nd floor of the blue glass building. Maybe he should clear a kill zone too. Linda could not believe it. Michael only smirked, having called it. Cole was an insane shooter. The kid clearly had real talent. Linda agreed, but suspected he had gained a new ability recently. Michael reminded her Cole showed shooting skills even during the qualifiers. Still, if he was that good, why hunt artifacts in the survival game? His weapon choice was odd. Hosts barely use that gear, even for training. Maybe he upgraded full bloom. As Linda knew, it unlocked new talents. Adam suddenly entered the judge's room. They stirred, but he told them to stay seated. He heard an interesting contestant showed up and wanted a look. Michael asked if the chairman was scouting a recruit. Not exactly. Adam's offer had already been rejected. Cole was a bold kid. If Adam had known how it would turn out, he would have raised the stakes. No point dwelling on it. He preferred moving forward and finding new paths ahead. Adam hoped fate would cross his path with Cole again. All 3 judges were stunned. Unexpected, but facts were facts. Michael approved the mindset and wondered what the crafty old man was planning. Derek arrived. Cole told him to go to the 2nd floor, room 1701. So that was Cole's hideout. Just as Derek thought, it was empty. Most players likely stayed outside. They were watching the arena. Going out now was extremely risky. Derek asked for details. Cole told him not to worry about others. He asked who would be easier to handle, Freddie or Emily. Derek went pale, realizing he was choosing an opponent. Cole calmed him down. They only needed to hold for 1 minute. While Derek stalled one of them, Cole would defend the capture point. Derek's brain froze. Cole called him back, making it clear this was real. Derek still could not believe they were actually doing this. They reached the spot and took the capture point. If enemies entered the zone or they left it, the timer would reset. Holding the area was mandatory. One mistake meant zero progress. Time remaining to clear the objective, 1 minute. Cole smirked. Time to roll. His squad locked down the capture point. Emily was furious. Sniping from cover was no longer enough for him. Freddy guessed there might be hidden stashes on the map, but that seemed unlikely. This was not a replica of a real dungeon, just a survival mode city map. Rushing the capture point unprepared meant instant loss and elimination. In the survival zone, a powerful artifact was hidden. Without it, they would have won. Last time, flawless movement and mobility let Cole escape every trap. But the tight space of the capture point would heavily limit his options. Maybe he did not even plan to hold it. Maybe he just wanted attention, then vanish mid-fight and reset the chaos. Emily broke it down. Cole was not about raw strength. In a closed zone, mobility would not save him. He must be aiming to profit from chaos. Chaos that erupts when players clash over the capture point. Either way, Emily and Freddy would not fight to hold that zone. They had to crush Cole's plan before the bloodbath, but a removal alert stopped them. Several players rushed inside, and none survived. If Cole wanted chaos, he should have stalled them and escaped until more hunters arrived. Freddy realized the problem. Only 20 seconds remained. Derek knew this meant fighting to the bitter end. He doubted the plan would hold. Anyone entering the room was instantly in Cole's sights. If the shot missed, or the target dodged, Derek stepped in. He prayed it would be enough. One contestant burst in, seeking a fair fight. He was dropped instantly by Cole. One more gone. The next challenger smashed a wall and hid behind rubble. Bullets could not pass. No issue. That was Derek's cue. Derek rushed in with his sword, pressing the attack. But the enemy was not alone. A girl lurked behind him. Using the all-seeing eye, Cole calculated the perfect angle. Another team was wiped out. Half the time was gone. 32 seconds left. At this pace, success was guaranteed. But that was not Cole's goal. He wanted everyone gone. As he refocused, Emily and Freddy arrived at the building. Before Cole could fire, they were already too close. Then everything started collapsing. The building was coming down. The capture point was destroyed. 17 seconds remained. Emily knew there was no time left and action was mandatory. In seconds, Cole fired again. 3 more players were eliminated. It was falling apart. Emily could not even tell where he was shooting from. She needed vision through the massive cloud of dust. No matter how strong Cole was, he could not handle that many alone, just like the old days. Back then, his team hit serious trouble. They risked dropping to 9th place and needed a miracle fast. 4 teammates were trapped by enemy setups. The enemy lost no one. Cole's team was wiped, yet he escaped somehow. He had to win. Falling to 9th was not an option. That time, he collapsed the building the same way. Spectators thought it was a suicide play and that Cole was done. But it was a twist. He never quit. The structure was seconds from collapse. Vision was 0 in the dust. Yet Cole still showed sniper-level accuracy. He dropped 3 at once. 1 player remained per team. The crowd craved a heptakill. No one in league history had pulled this off. But fate hit hard. Cole ran out of mana. Sadly, the miracle did not happen. He fell to an enemy blade, and the team dropped to 9th place. Victory was one tiny step away. That same step pushed the hero into real turning points. Now everything was different. Cole had mana to spare, so failure would not repeat. Emily and Freddy were eliminated. Judges jumped in shock. Cole wiped every single player. The task was about holding the capture point, yet he claimed it and erased all rivals. Linda had to admit it. This kid truly fought like a pro. Michael had said it before. Cole mastered his weapon perfectly. Results like this are impossible without elite shooting skill. The judge saw his potential back at selection. Bill agreed, but wondered how Cole spotted enemies inside that dust storm. What kind of talent lets someone pick such an odd weapon at such a young age? Michael guessed Cole had a special ability that ensured pinpoint accuracy. That same skill likely gave him confidence to dominate any situation. Mystery solved. The community went wild. No surprise, this episode blew up with viewers. Cole killed every opponent. Scenes like that are rare and insane to watch. In truth, it was less flashy than it looked. Cole already knew this strategy. In direct face-to-face fights, nothing that crazy would have happened. Cole gained a special achievement. Full Bloom ranked up and unlocked legendary sniper. Derek wondered if Cole had been hiding his talents and asked to touch the pistol once. Cole never mentioned his massive mana pool, and Derek was curious. He asked how Cole tracked enemies in that dust. Cole said it was instinct. Derek laughed, saying that was cold treatment for his only friend. Hold up. Derek had just called himself Cole's only friend. Cole never thought about that. Truth was, no one else around really fit that role. Except this guy. Was Cole's circle really that small? Judges stepped onto the stage. Linda stated, "Not everyone is meant to be a hunter. Talent often decides everything." It sounded cruel, but the show wanted only the strongest and brightest. Hunters who could reach insane heights and dominate the league. Even harsher truth. Still, those who failed today might find success later. And those who passed, maybe it was time to celebrate. But remember, this was only the beginning. Linda welcomed them to the Hunters League. Judges quickly filtered the best of the best, even in such a short time. One final evaluation remained. In other words, the last trial. As expected, it followed league standards. 7 versus 7 team battles. Teams must form today. The match would be next week, with champions crowned. That match would also feature a very special guest. Leaving the stadium, club reps swarmed Cole, begging for a moment. Landing on the right team really mattered. So the hero suggested moving somewhere better for talks. Since everyone came for him, Cole proposed starting with conditions. First was William, coach of Seoul Academy. They promised entry into second, then first division. They offered exchange programs and a personal coach for international prep. Cole stopped him, asking what truly made them unique. William offered a signing bonus of 100 million won and a 200 million annual salary. Another offer came with a 300 million upfront payment and stable yearly pay. 300 million just to sign was insanely tempting. But Cole wanted freedom to choose his own teammates. Or maybe he would not join anyone at all. Another rep matched the offer and welcomed extra conditions. Cole said he wanted full control over selecting his team. The recruiters fell silent. Of course they would not agree. The meeting ended for today. They left business cards and promised to talk with management about conditions and bigger payouts. Most rookies would call those offers insanely generous and flashy. Cole noticed one man stayed behind. Maybe he wanted a different talk. His name was Yusuf, a recruiter from Team PER. He thought they could accept Cole's demand. Yusuf handed over his card. Strange, Cole had never heard of them. If they played in first or even second division, he would know them for sure. Looks like a third division team and not exactly top tier. Their budget was tight, but Cole could build the roster his own way there. Many contracts were ending next season, and renewals were uncertain. With new recruits coming, they could factor in Cole's opinion. Big money was off the table, but full control over teammates was possible. Cole had questions. Did that mean a squad made only of rookies? Yusuf suggested meeting their director to clear everything up. He seemed ready to accept almost any condition just to sign Cole. Yusuf asked him to think it through and meet the director if possible. So here were the options. Cole could join a prestigious third division team, get a solid signing bonus, and pick 1 or 2 partners. Or join PER, a weaker organization, but build his own squad from scratch. Either way, the choice was Cole's. Derek was dying to know the answer. Derek waited outside. Recruiters meant nothing to him. He stayed at Seoul Academy anyway. He just wanted details on where Cole might go. Cole mentioned the 300 million won offer and solid salary. All offers felt similar. Derek was stunned. Looks like Academy pay was not that great, oddly enough, especially since the Academy was prestigious, with elite training. Derek still did not know which team Cole would choose. The hero was unsure too. Derek said there was nothing to think about, just accept. Cole explained he wanted to choose his own teammates. His ambitions were huge. Derek agreed Cole was talented, but rookies rarely set conditions. Maybe true. Those ambitions only looked big for his current position. If Cole proved his value as irreplaceable, refusal would be impossible. He agreed with Derek, but would not accept any offer without extra terms. If his rep was lacking, he just needed to grind harder and shine brighter. Recruiters also approached Freddie. He got an offer that was probably unbeatable. Nervously, he said he would stay with Seoul Academy. They even offered a bigger bonus if he broke his current contract. Emily messaged him, saying recruiter talks were pointless anyway. Freddie wondered where Cole would go. He was the first true sniper in Korea's Hunter League. That last match was intense. Yet Cole never missed once. Soon, Cole would join a team, and he and Freddie would clash again in 3rd Division, maybe beyond that. That was when the real hype would start. Derek did not get why Cole headed to the workshop. Nothing was broken. They were entering real league matches. Gear was mandatory. Derek thought air step and air anchor were enough. He had never seen pros fight. Proper equipment could flip an entire match. There were countless mana-powered devices in all shapes and sizes. A female worker greeted them, realizing it was their first visit. She assumed they needed gadget repairs or weapon fixes. Before they spoke, she suggested checking out mana devices. Stepping inside, Derek was blown away. This place was a hunter's paradise. The girl was ready to explain how to choose mana gear properly. Perfect timing. Cole said some idiot followed him in, clearly clueless about this kind of equipment. The world now had countless inventions, like air anchor and air step. Mana devices were usually split into 4 groups: offense, defense, and mobility. The 4th was more of a wild card, for gear that fit nowhere else. Those had wildly different stats and functions, often custom-made. Derek thought they came for that, but such gear was rare, so simpler options made sense. Most custom gear was ordered for match strategy or specific enemies. The girl showed a basic device, a stone that formed a mana shield around its user. It was easy to use. Derek found it strange. He rarely saw anyone use it. She explained why. Once the shield broke, the device needed cooldown time. Because of that, it was saved for emergencies. Long-range fighters used it most to survive sudden assaults. Gear choice always depended on goal or strategy. The right setup massively boosted arena performance. Cole tested a mana blaster and asked Derek who it suited best. It needed attachment. Sounded great for ranged fighters. Absurd. With Cole's pistols, it would not work. Bullets were too small. But wait, ether rounds could take any shape. That changed everything. Derek showed a teleport device called Air Dash, ideal for ranged users. It kept distance. Cole grabbed it and instantly aimed a pistol at Derek's head. Perfect pick. It let him switch to close combat in a flash. Derek suggested taking everything, forgetting mana was limited and slots capped. 1 Air Dash was enough for Cole. Derek mattered more right now. Derek was lost. Too many options. No ranged weapon, so no shield needed. Mana Blaster felt useless, and Air Dash seemed too hard to master. Then, Cole grabbed something else. Derek thought it was a joke. Everyone gathered at the stadium again. Linda announced the final in 6 days. Time to reveal team rosters and the arena map. The final map featured dense forests and massive mountains. The battle would take place on the Field of the Gods, a world shaped like the tower. Cole had played on this map before and knew its tricks. Based on prior results, judges split everyone into 2 teams. Blue team had Emily, Sean, and Dustin. Red team had Cole, Freddie, Derek, and Liam. With early rosters, judges expected real team coordination. 1 week to bond. Michael said this match would be special. A first-generation hunter would join the battle. Adam Steinberg, acting as a neutral monster. He believed in the contestants and wanted to share priceless experience. Adam told them to enjoy the final. New stars would rise next week. After filming, Cole caught up with the chairman. He returned a card and mentioned Yusuf suggested meeting the team owner. Team PER had been stuck at the bottom of 3rd Division for years. After recruiter talks, Cole remembered a past life revelation. The real owner of that team was Adam himself. A massive scandal back then. Adam stared sharply. Publicly, another truth existed. PER had a fake owner. How did Cole know? Nothing slipped past him. A bold claim. Cole could see through people completely. He knew Adam's secrets, every dirty detail. The question was what the chairman would do next. Adam did not expect the hero to have a skill like that. Hiding the truth was pointless now. He introduced himself as Adam Steinberg, owner of Team PER and chairman of the Hunters Association. He thought his and Yusuf's efforts failed, but Cole clearly changed his mind. Caught at last. Cole was ready to join, but on one condition. Adam hands PER's control to him. Later, the chairman told Yusuf everything. The situation turned spicy fast. To be honest, Yusuf feared Cole would bring trouble, unsure if they really needed him. Adam never imagined Cole would demand authority as a joining price. Sure, being Korea's top sniper allows some arrogance, but this was pushing it. He crushed the trials, but calling him a full pro was a stretch. Cole was confident about winning the final. More than that, he claimed he could beat Adam too. Yusuf was stunned by that audacity. Of course the chairman would not go all out. Still, if Cole beat him, Those demands might actually make sense. Yusuf doubted that was even possible. That was not the wildest part. Cole added something after Adam accepted the bet. If Cole won, he would be the one hiring Adam, not the other way around. Yusuf was shook. Adam found it amusing. If it happened, the kid would be right. The chairman would not fold easily. He wanted to see Cole's hidden cards. Meanwhile, Cole gathered everyone. The team had no issue with him as captain. Cole expected Freddie to step up. That burning stare was intense. Freddie's focus started to pressure him. Cole suggested starting with strategy. Everyone agreed he and Freddie were the strongest. The plan would revolve around that. Like their rivals, they needed elevation first. On the field of the gods, power came before team fights. That was the base plan. But a new variable appeared. The chairman himself. Some of them, including Cole, had to use a different approach. Everyone except Cole, Freddie, and Derek would farm items and hunt monsters. Those three would rush straight to the neutral monster zone at match start. First objective was finding Adam. Yes, Cole planned to outplay him. The guys were shocked. Liam said Cole lost it. 3 versus the chairman sounded insane. Adam promised restraint. But still, Liam remembered Cole dominating elimination and survival games. But did he really think he was Korea's best hunter already? Liam doubted it. Cole had made many enemies during elimination, but no time to dwell on that. Freddie stepped in. Everyone knew how strong the chairman was, Cole included. Of course Cole thought it through. Freddie trusted he already had a plan. The same guy who wanted Cole dead now defended him. Weird shift. Cole was not going in blind. The plan might sound crazy, but they should hear it. Judges gathered to remind viewers of the final rules. A standard league match had 2 teams of 7. Then the map decided everything. Each game had phases. First was farming, gathering items and hunting monsters. Then came the mission phase, capturing neutral monsters or their territory. Last was the team fight phase, full 7 versus 7 chaos. Missions changed by map, making outcomes nearly impossible to predict. This final was special because Adam Steinberg joined the game. Everyone knew the contestants' roles. But what would the chairman do? This time, he acted as a neutral monster, just like the others. Still, Adam was a real pro and a brutal opponent. That was why judges imposed limits. All his stats were reduced by 2. His advantage would be less overwhelming, since every stat gap mattered. Plus, 14 players would face him at once. That was going to be wild. Everyone, Linda included, was hyped for the final. This match was guaranteed to be a banger. Michael backed Cole at every stage so hard, he basically became his biggest fan. This time, Linda did not argue, though she felt someone else might take the win. Michael asked why the chairman chose the neutral zone. Linda thought Adam wanted to meet every contestant in person and decide the winner himself. If that was true, Cole would struggle to flex his talents. His edge was mobility and pinpoint aim, but those meant little against the chairman. Adam was a close combat monster with brutal power and insane chase instincts. Ranged fighters usually stood no chance, though Linda reminded everyone of Adam's limits. Michael said it was not about raw power. The chairman would never hold back. Bill claimed nothing was impossible in the Hunters League. Crazy stuff always happens. He mostly agreed with Michael, but still felt guessing outcomes was pointless. After all, the final map was the Field of the Gods. Only seconds remained before the final kicked off. Comments flooded in by the thousands. The chairman would finally show his skills live. The arena matched Cole's memories perfectly. The plan could go full throttle. Final rules were simple. The match ran until one team was wiped out. In the past, dungeons called towers appeared randomly across the world. That chaos sparked conflicts, until a somewhat peaceful solution was found. Towers held insane artifacts, and nobody wanted to share the loot. Hunters fought monsters and each other to claim those treasures. That chaos birthed the Hunters League. Many arenas copied real towers. First-gen hunters had an edge, since they knew these arenas better than rookies. All contestants spawned onto the map. Cole's team moved exactly as planned. Freddie and Derek stayed with him. There was no turning back now. Team B, led by Emily, cleared monsters to level up fast. Their next move was likely clashing with the chairman. It was the safest and most efficient strategy here. Even with stats reduced by 2, Adam still outclassed the rookies. Team A ran a different setup. Only 4 hunted monsters. Cole, Freddie, and Derek chose another route, straight to the chairman. Linda said they were doomed. 3 rookies versus Adam was suicide. Michael agreed, but wanted to see what they were cooking. The chairman stood still at his zone. Someone was rushing him. Adam wondered if they hoped to slip by unnoticed. For now, they stayed hidden. Then a storm of bullets flew at Adam. That trick would not work. He wondered if that was really all Cole had prepared. While Adam focused forward, Derek and Freddy struck from behind. Too slow. Adam blocked everything. Still, Cole looked promising. If this was all they had, Adam felt let down. He expected more. What he saw looked like pointless sword swings. A massive shadow loomed overhead. The Field of the Gods once housed an entire giant civilization. For unknown reasons, they all turned to stone. Strangely enough, petrification did not kill them. Cole studied this arena deeply, since league finals were often held here. One day, he learned how to awaken a giant. The plan was reviving a statue. Freddy wondered if an artifact was hidden too. Cole felt it. Cracks in the stone. Break the right spots, and it would crumble. The giant sealed inside would awaken and break free. Derek was unsure. Maybe it was all just theory. Freddy, however, was convinced the hero had some rare, broken skill. Even if the giants were freed, they would not help. Too long imprisoned, they would not take sides. Their minds were likely shattered, attacking anyone in reach without reason. Derek doubted the plan. What if the giants saw Adam as one of their own and spared him? If Cole's logic was right, that would not happen. Still, the risk hit everyone involved. That was why they prepped mana devices. Derek finally got it. The plan might actually work. So that was it. Cole never planned a direct fight. He aimed for pure disruption. His real targets were the statues. Somehow, he knew they would awaken, or maybe awakening them was part of the plan from the start. Either way, it was wild. The giants turned on Adam. The chairman could handle them, but something else bothered him. The three vanished. Adam realized they used invisibility cloaks. Handy, but flawed gear. Those cloaks were not universal and became useless over time. That limitation was why hunters rarely relied on them. Adam thought they avoided fighting him. Then a bullet suddenly flew. Cole actually cornered the chairman. Adam had not felt this pressure in years. It was impressive. He acknowledged Cole's clean execution. Still, this was not victory. Now the field was even. Cole had to prove what he was truly capable of. The stadium was stunned. Judges finally realized why the hero targeted statues. He knew the trigger. Adam dodged the shots, but those bullets struck the giants instead. Cole pretended to aim at Adam while hitting statue cracks. Then he vanished under a cloak, shifting the enraged giant's focus onto the chairman. Michael could not believe it. Outsmarting a first-generation hunter was insane. Beating him outright would demand even more effort. Cole fired at a giant, but Adam blocked the shot. The chairman would not fall for the same trick twice. He waited for the next move. The all-seeing eye revealed weak points on Adam's shield. Cole fired again, knowing the shot alone would fail. That was the point. The bullets collided midair, rebounding. Both shots slammed straight into the giant. Even a first-gen hunter would struggle against two giants, yet Adam stayed locked in. Cole linked up with Derek and Freddy. They hid near monsters. Liam and the others were moving in with their own plan. Liam's squad had already wiped out plenty of monsters. He did not know Cole's full goal, but he was the one Cole trusted most. Before the final, Cole gave them strict instructions. First, clear monsters carefully and gather ascension items with 0 losses. Second, avoid the blue team entirely. Third, never engage in combat. Even face-to-face, retreat. Cole even planned their escape routes. Emily and her team arrived, hunting for enemies, just as Cole predicted. Emily swore she would not lose again. Liam signaled his team, and they bolted. With Team B on their tail, they had to keep distance. Liam doubted their odds, but failing Cole was not an option. He ordered everyone to run straight to the marked zone. When Emily arrived, she realized it was the neutral monster area. A giant roared, and she froze in terror. Liam had no clue what was happening. Cole focused on the chairman first, while absolute chaos exploded around them. The hero asked Liam to stall for time. The guy agreed, but only briefly. Cole needed just 3 minutes. Liam would see it himself later. For now, he would just keep tossing rocks. Cole told Freddy and Derek to move now, while they were still unnoticed. On his signal, time to knock Emily's team out of the game. Derek and Freddy dropped their cloaks and jumped Team B. One down instantly. Emily warned her team to avoid the giants and dodge the flying stones. The fight was only starting. Their focus had to stay on the red team. Emily formed a healing sphere. They picked the wrong target. While she was distracted, Cole fired. Emily was no amateur. Her defensive ring deflected the shot. Thinking she would not prepare was pure wishful thinking. It looks like Cole really underestimated her. Fine, switch to plan B. The hero pulled out the mana detonator. He detached a part first, then used ether to reshape the detonator. The gun became heavier than before, but the shot was insanely strong. Another one down. Even Emily's barrier failed to save them. Liam saw it from afar. Even Cole could not believe it worked. Thanks to the healing shelter, Emily's wounds closed fast. Still, she risked elimination. In the Hunter League, Ascension has two paths. The first is simple. Kill monsters spawning across the dungeon map. The second path is eliminating rivals. Emily went down. Her team was about to collapse. Adam also seemed finished with his part. It felt good. He had not fought at full power in a long time. Now he wanted to return to where they left off. He was curious what Cole would do next. Cole saw nothing left to discuss. The chairman told him not to hide. Adam genuinely admired Cole's strategy. The new generation relied only on brute force. In the past, hunters also defended towers, so strategy was mandatory. A solid plan meant survival. At that moment, Adam hurled his axe at Cole. He pinpointed Cole by voice alone. The hero escaped with an air anchor. The giant fight clearly drained Adam. Now, they had a real chance. But when Derek charged, Adam erased him with one axe swing while blocking bullets. No shock there. An elite hunter outclassed 3rd division player. At least they tried. Liam was taken down as well. Only Cole and Freddy remained. Adam thought Cole looked shaken, but no. This was exactly what he expected. The chairman hoped the hero still had a plan. Cole signaled, and Freddy hurled his daggers at Adam. It was completely pointless. Adam leapt and pierced Freddy with a spear. Now only Cole stood. The chairman was not just a melee fighter. He was a tank. A ranged fighter's worst nightmare. Cole was at a massive disadvantage. Adam rushed in, confident of victory and ready to finish it. Cole did not agree. He pulled out the mana detonator. A massive explosion erupted. The stadium and judges froze in silence. Cole and Adam lay exhausted. The hero actually pulled it off. He used the mana detonator to force a draw. The true monster of this game was finally revealed. Cole exhaled and stepped onto the stage, but the feeling was hollow. The result tasted bitter. If he had dodged the chairman's spear and landed the detonator, the win would have been his. Derek hugged him, telling him not to sulk. A victory should feel good. But it was only a draw. Freddy looked surprised that the hero did not know the truth yet. When asked, he brushed it off as something unimportant. The winners, Adam included, climbed onto the stage. The chairman stared at Cole with a strange, piercing look as the jury speech began. Every year, around 100,000 people awaken worldwide, and almost all dream of becoming hunters. Yet the path is brutal. A true hunter needs courage, wisdom, strength, and raw luck. In short, not every player is meant to earn that title. But today, one contestant proved he deserved it. The winner of Hunters The Next Generation was Cole Phillips, showing the best overall result. It felt odd. In a past life, he had held trophies like this countless times. Still, damn it, this was the first time in ages he felt genuinely happy. After the ceremony, his mother, once against this path, suddenly changed her mind. Relatives watched the show and were thrilled. His father worried the most, even if he hit it. Before, the hero fought for lower league teams with rough conditions. His parents feared that life. This time, everything would be different. Only one small issue remained: the team decision. Cole went to Chairman Adam, who asked what brought him there. The crafty old man knew the answer. Cole had won and came to claim his team. Adam argued it was not entirely fair. Giants played a role in that outcome. The duel ended in a draw, so Cole turned to leave. Adam grabbed his arm and stopped him, revealing it was a joke. No need for tension. They were partners now. The chairman would hand PER to Cole. The boy's skills truly impressed him. The hero offered a handshake, eager to work together. Adam returned it, sharing the same intent. Morris is a world-famous weapon maker that does more than craft hunter gear. They also run full evaluations. Cole came to claim his prize and place an order. Derek tagged along, preparing for 3rd Division League play and eager for a weapon. For some reason, Michael joined them as well. Derek asked about the difference between custom-made and standard weapons. Michael asked to be called by name. Off the show, the gap was massive. Custom gear is built for one person, tailored to their combat style. They entered the Mora's workshop and were greeted by a consultant informed in advance. Their destination was Section B3. Moras is divided into 4 departments. Each section runs from A to D, reflecting weapon quality. Section B was solid, far from bad. Derek was in awe. He had never seen a workshop like this. He asked about Mora's weapon prices. Custom gear had to be way pricier than standard. Michael suggested covering that later and focused on the essentials. Before ordering, one must choose a base model. He showed the base for his 7-branched sword as an example. The weapon is then modified to fit the user's abilities and style. Michael once picked his weapon by sketching a rough concept. He drew a sword with 6 branches, 7 curved protrusions total. Those bends widen wounds on withdrawal, boosting damage. Morris forged an insane blade from nothing but that rough sketch. Michael's sketch was only meant to give a rough vibe of the desired weapon, nothing more. The master's job was to turn raw imagination into steel. But first, they had to know the weapon type and exactly how it would be used. Derek actually paused to think this through. Cole planned to take the same gear he once used in his past life. But what Derek would come up with was way more intriguing. He scanned everything, then reached for a rapier, a blade built for precise thrusts. Derek wanted mana-based speed amplification woven into it, and he wanted the rapier to glow when the speed technique activated. Michael laughed, noting that style mattered too. Derek was thinking like a pro already. He then asked if Cole had picked his weapon. Among Korean hunters, guns were basically unheard of. Because of that, the exact model Cole needed was not on display. But now, he could use magical weapon transformation again. He grabbed a plain-looking chunk of material and asked to use it. Michael nodded, telling him to fully abuse his privileges. In seconds, the dull block reshaped into a sleek, automatic firearm. The workshop staff was stunned. He made it look effortless. People were always blown away by Cole's skills, yet he never got used to it. Every country hosting Hunter League matches had Mora's workshop branches. Competition between them was unavoidable, almost brutal. 2 things mattered most: weapon quality and the status of their clients. Right now, the Korean Moras branch lacked a strong reputation. Korean players performed terribly on the world stage, hurting the brand instead of promoting it. But Cole could help restore the branch's name. He won the show and proved entirely new weapons could be created. Chloe Parker, head of the Seoul Moras branch, would not miss this chance. She thanked Cole for his time and suggested getting straight to business. First, Chloe asked if B-rank equipment was enough for him. It was a prize from the show, so options were limited anyway. Chloe explains that if all he needed was a mana ingot, then they could offer something truly special. She opened a case. Chloe proposed an indefinite lease arrangement. Cole could use their mana ingot to create his own weapon. In return, she wanted cooperation and occasional help developing new gear using his abilities. Simple, profitable terms. Sounded almost too good. But what would Moras do once everyone learned Cole made his own weapons? He saw through her plan immediately. If he used their ingot, they would claim their master's perfected mana ingot processing. Then Chloe would request more designs, building a whole line of top-tier weapons. She forgot to mention the required non-disclosure contract. In that case, Cole might as well showcase his skills at the main branch directly. Chloe snapped, demanding what he was really after. Now it was clear. Cole wanted sponsorship. She was shocked, thinking free weapons were already generous enough. Still, they could make an exception and offer financial backing. But Cole was not asking for himself. The support was for PER, his future team. He was demanding sponsorship for a 3rd division team that failed every season. Chloe asked why PER. Another team would be far easier to justify. Cole replied that he had already signed with them. Chloe froze. She argued PER would not promote the brand or improve Morris's image. Cole understood, but to him, the deal was fair and square because he would help forge weapons exclusively for the Korean Moras branch. Their representative would contact PER management soon. Details would be settled then. Chloe and Cole sealed it with a handshake. Cole arrived at the stadium. The crowd size matched his expectations for a 3rd division league match. PER versus ESP. Bottom rank versus 9th place. A fight still within reach. PER had struggled lately, but a comeback was still possible. This time, they could outplay their rivals. Matches for Divisions 2 and 3 run in VR. Top league battles happen in real dungeons. That makes injuries far more likely. But Division 2 and 3 hunters are safe. So what are they scared of? Cole was stunned. This was not even a real fight. He came hunting hidden talent. PER was losing badly and forced to retreat. cornered hard, a tragic sight. At this pace, PER would end the season winless. Cole was shocked. Not a single win. Maybe he picked the wrong team. Joining a stronger squad with real prospects would have been smarter. That path would ease a future jump to the first division. No chance. Cole would not back down. He would find a solution. First step was cutting dead weight. He would drop everyone he could, hoping at least one solid hunter remained. He was even more shocked to learn PER lived in a regular apartment building. Then again, his first team had no sponsors either, and lived the same way. Maybe things were not as bad as they looked. Inside, Cole heard shouting. The team was tearing itself apart over the loss. Accusations flew about cowardice, while Yusuf tried to calm them down. The coach urged everyone to cool off and talk it through. No wonder morale was trash. Their results spoke for themselves. Yusuf spotted Cole and introduced him as the new teammate and show champion. Cole said he watched their match and was honestly stunned by how useless they were on the field. One guy snapped, asking who Cole thought he was to trash pro players. Since feelings were hurt, Cole proposed a duel. If he lost, he would leave. If he won, that guy was out. Cole just arrived and already stirred chaos, but only 3 took the bait. The rest had no spine. Everyone moved to the combat hall. Same wavelength then. Cole hoped they would not turn off sensors and claim they beat him up. He told them to crank the settings to max. Scott warned Cole to brace himself or get wrecked. This was Scott, the guy who rushed solo and died in the match. His skill was a destructive dash that launched a shockwave. His stats were lower than the show contestants. He clearly skipped training. The skill was decent, but his control was trash. Hard to believe these guys went pro. Cole and the 3 entered the virtual battlefield. As expected, Scott charged instantly. Strangely, he sprinted past Cole. Then the ground shattered. The shockwave radius was bigger than expected. A legit skill. Cole escaped with air step, making Scott think he was in control. Scott dashed straight at him, sure of victory. Everything went as planned. Scott walked into the trap. The other 2 arrived late. Scott was already bound. Who was next? Cole warned them it was going to hurt. Predictably, they lost. Cole reminded them of the deal. Anyone who lost was out. Cole told them to disappear. 2 guys left throwing insults, but Scott stayed rooted in place. Cole reminded him again to leave. Scott bit his lip and apologized. Cole barely reacted. Scott apologized again, admitting it was his fault. He said he understood his mistakes and begged to stay, showing real grit. Scott lost to a rookie hunter. There was no clear reason to keep him. Scott argued he had a solid skill. Cole beat him, sure, but that skill was his edge. He asked if that was still not enough. Fair point. The skill itself was strong, but it meant nothing if he could not use it and would not listen. Scott swore he would obey if allowed to stay. Cole demanded full loyalty and 0 excuses. Scott agreed without hesitation. Cole was unsure if this was the right call. Truth was, the team was mostly trash and the budget was tiny. Maybe Scott could become an example for the rest. Cole cut 2 out of 7 and needed replacements. Emily had insane potential. She refused, flat out, even with a perfect contract. That loss still burned. She told him to imagine her position. Then Cole received a new message. It was from Freddie. Emily told him Cole was recruiting. Freddie was a star of Soul Academy's main team. Cole thought he was locked in there. After what Cole pulled off, surprise was inevitable. Freddie showed interest and promised to talk with the academy. Huge news. Skill always pays off. Signing Freddie would be a clean 3-pointer. Another message arrived from someone Cole never expected. Cole had no clue how to handle all this. Team building depends on synergy, something this squad clearly lacked. Their stats barely hit minimum, and synergy was far from ideal. A girl named Stella had a skill called positional caution. This could work. Freddie was elite, same as the 2 who messaged yesterday. At this pace, they would steamroll the 3rd division. Adam was surprised Cole already believed in the new team. Cole said every one of them was special, thanks to the chairman. Adam apologized. He never had time for the team and noticed Cole recruiting hard. He never expected Cole to land a sponsor like the Seoul Mora's Workshop. Cole had to save the team. Adam asked what kind of team he wanted. Cole had 2 ideas. The first was a one-man carry, like Adam assumed. Too predictable. Adam warned that single strategy teams always fail. That left the second idea, still unfinished. Adam could call it the saboteur strategy. He did not fully get it, but trusted Cole and suggested moving on. Adam handed over the contract, transferring full team rights to Cole. Cole checked it, saw no issues, and prepared to leave. Adam added that the match was the season finale, and a press conference was tomorrow. Cole was now executive director and had to attend. Of course he would. He had plans. Team leaders gathered in the studio. Pure boredom. No questions after the presentation. Cole introduced himself as PER's new executive president and active player. Team LTD held first place, famous for flawless teamwork and total domination. Rumors say many players will jump to Division 2 next season. The ladder is about to shake. The LTD director claimed, even if players leave, equal replacements will fill the gaps. They also teased a couple hunters who could become rising stars soon. Cole tried to recall who he meant. That coach looked way too familiar. Then it hit him. Director Lee. Bad blood from a past life resurfaced. He once ruled LTD in the first division. Now, coaching in the third. Brandon Lee. Same smug vibe as always, nothing changed. Talk shifted to a new hunter from LHR. The host asked if he would appear in Division 3. The coach dodged the answer, saying progress was ongoing, but uncertain. So that was the team Freddie almost joined. Then came shocking news about PER. Word spread that Cole Phillips became PER's executive director. Cole confirmed it and introduced himself. A rookie holding both roles was unheard of. Player and director at once. Everyone wondered if PER would transform completely. Cole said yes. 0 wins last season, but massive changes were coming. The host asked for at least a hint of what PER was planning. Roster changes first. Cole would both play and coach. New strategies, a new sponsor, chaos everywhere. PER was moving fast. The host tried to move on, but Cole had more to add. He studied every match and saw no team that could stand against them. The room froze in dead silence. Brandon was furious. Cole warned everyone. PER would crush all, especially LTD. Losing to the bottom team would be pure humiliation. Perfect. Cole stirred the pot hard, and not just at the conference. The guys met at PER headquarters for the first time since the show. Derek was shocked. Just a normal house. Cole said that was standard for small teams. Honestly, Cole expected Derek to show up. He never thought Sean would too, though it made total sense. Cole admitted the team was rough. Sean said it straight. He joined only for future rank gains. Cole told them to chill. He had a plan. Yes, PER lost every match last season, but that was not the core issue. With them on board, the roster was half complete. Buckle up. The guys hoped this was not pointless, and that Cole had a hidden ace. ESP manager Joseph Waltz was deep in thought. Skill was not the problem. His players forgot how to win. He searched for a fix. Then a scrim request from PER arrived. Kill-based combat training, no objectives. Colleagues said the season ended and ESP should rest. Declining was fine. Joseph disagreed. The only way to win again was to start winning. He called Coach Kim and agreed. This could be fun. ESP players were confused. Scrims after the season were rare, but they heard PER's new boss trashed the whole league on debut, talking about toppling LTD while barely able to beat anyone. ESP planned a reality check. Yusuf asked if Cole was really sure. The team barely knew each other. The newcomers had 0 synergy so far. Cole said they lacked numbers for 7 versus 7 scrims. He asked the coach to listen carefully. Leaving things unchanged meant no hope. Another loss would lock them at the bottom again. Endless failures turned the team passive and scared. But even a slim chance to win sparks hope. Cole would give them that chance. Even as a rookie, his presence alone would shift everything. He would prove they were done being losers. PER was done crawling. It was time to rise. The hero stepped into the waiting hall and ran into ESP's manager and coach. Joseph spotted PER's new president, or manager, not sure what to call him, and introduced himself anyway. Joseph spoke like nothing mattered, a mocking spark clear in his eyes. Easy to tell he underestimated PER. Kinda rude. The match was about to start. Cole checked if his team was ready. He would call for support, and teammates had to follow only his commands. Even so, Cole doubted they would execute perfectly. 5 original players plus him, the newcomer. he would prove wins were possible like this. Scott would lead the front as before, but no charging until Cole said so. No signal meant stand still, even if a mana bomber rushed him. Stella stayed close to Cole, matching his pace no matter what. Derek asked about his role. Cole told him to stay back and stop anyone closing in. Derek thought Cole did not want him fighting. He would see soon enough. The match began on the Imperial Bridge map. Tight space combat, no flashy plays. Pure endurance. Whose formation holds longer? That was exactly why Joseph picked this map. For a dumpster-built team, PER's formation looked solid. Joseph assumed it was just staging. They had no time to train since the last match. They looked stable only because they barely moved. Or at least it looked that way. Now, the manager and coach would see how Cole commanded his squad. Suddenly they noticed the ranged fighter had exposed himself. He drifted from position while tracking teammates. ESP could not miss this chance and went for Cole. The moment a spear attack came, the hero slipped away. So it was bait, not a mistake, a clean provocation. Joseph realized PER's strategy centered on the ranged core. Cole opened fire, and the enemy hid behind shield. They had no clue he was firing mana detonators. In one burst, PER scored 7 points, 7 kills. The match ended right there. PER took the win. Joseph finally understood why Cole exposed himself. It worked perfectly. The manager admitted PER played insanely well. The team could not believe it. Their first win in forever. They expected to get crushed. Cole enjoyed hearing their new confidence and hope. Scott approached, asking how Cole led them to victory and what mattered most in formation battles. Scott knew one thing: holding formation mattered. Cole asked how he planned to break the enemies. Scott hesitated. Cole answered by forcing collapse or brute force. Simple math. Smash it or break it. No mystery. It sounded obvious, yet Scott never thought of it before. What Cole did earlier, forced engagement and struck during repositioning. That was why he jumped out and exposed himself. Scott was stunned. The answer was that simple. Freddy jumped in, saying the right answer always feels obvious once heard. What shocked him most was coordination. Like they trained beforehand. They did not. Cole just picked the simplest formation. So it was all part of the plan. Freddy suggested sticking with this strategy. With Derek and Sean added, the team would be even stronger. Division 3 would be a breeze. Ideal, sure, but even Division 3 would not be easy. Cole admitted they could not rely on this forever. ESP had a winning past, sure, but right now, they were just a 9th place squad. That strategy crushes low-tier teams, but it would not hold against higher-ranked monsters. Spamming one tactic over and over would eventually make it useless. Sean asked what came next. He joined only because he trusted Cole and wanted a real plan. That was true. Unlike the others, Sean came purely on Cole's promise. A promise that later, he could move to a better team with stronger contracts or prospects. Cole said they needed prepared setups for matches. Sean replied they barely had strong abilities at all. So what kind of setups could they even run? The hero explained that raw abilities were not the only weapon they had. He pulled out a mana bomb. This would be their new tool. One day, the team would remember this moment, when they became masters of mana bombing. Cole wanted Freddy to train using multiple swords at once. Freddy was stunned. Cole wondered if he really disliked the training plan. Freddy argued that controlling several swords would kill his precision. He was right. Telekinetic pressure loses focus when split across many blades. Still, Cole knew that in a past life, Freddy could handle this level. At least 7 swords at once, and 3 with elite fencing control. If Cole wanted fast growth, Freddy could not be left unsupervised. It was not pointless, but if Freddy refused, Cole would not force it. Freddy joined out of respect for Cole, and that respect still held. He sighed, knowing this was inevitable sooner or later. He asked how many swords they were talking about. Cole smiled and showed 7. That would be enough. Next was Sean. Cole wanted him to train throwing accuracy. The more precise, the better. But Sean looked confused. Using gravity so cheaply would not create real offensive power. He asked for the full idea before deciding if it was worth it. Fine, Cole decided to explain. The team would stack bombs using Sean's gravity skill. Mana bombs. That was the core of the plan. First, bombs would be mounted on Freddy's swords. Then, Sean's ability would come in. Bombs would be dropped mid-flight, directly from the swords. Sean and Freddy would become living artillery. This was the new strategy Cole mentioned earlier, their win condition. Cole called it the Grenadier tactic. Freddy would control multiple swords, each carrying bomb fragments. Sean's gravity would ensure perfect bomb drops on enemy positions. Still, one more piece was missing. Without knowing enemy positioning, the damage would never land properly. That was where Stella came in, with her ability to pinpoint enemy locations. She would relay precise positioning data to the team. Cole placed a hand over hers, making it clear she was the keystone. Without her, the bombs would be useless. Cole asked if you could count on her. She looked away and agreed quietly, cheeks flushed for no clear reason. Team PER was invited to a shoot celebrating the season opening. Cole had been reckless at the conference, so now he planned to keep it cool. He overheard a coach saying Cole lacked age and experience. Just another kid, they said, with PER looking like a shaky house of cards. The host felt PER had something to prove after a season with 0 wins. Maybe a tactic shift was coming. Cole stepped in, admitting his youth without dodging it. He implied that if PER won, age would be all their critic had left. The host noted how tense rivalries make the league worth watching. That rival talked big for an 8th place squad, barely ahead of PER. Cole planned to show their true build in the very first match. Freddie checked his confidence. Strategies exist to be used, not hidden. Even if revealed, no one would be able to counter it. Freddie believed 8th place would fall no matter what. By design, most pressure would land on Cole, but that was not what the team needed right now. Freddie was the core of the plan, and Cole made sure that stayed clear. Freddie promised to give everything he had. It was time. Both teams gathered in the stadium, and PER was ready to flex. The lower-ranked team chose the arena, so the call was PER's. They picked the simplest map possible, the city. Cole ordered Sean, Freddie, and Stella to move once in position. The rest would hunt kills or focus on survival. Stella took position on the 23rd floor at the east edge of the map. She activated her skill and fed enemy coordinates. Urban maps let her ability shine at full power. Cole moved fast along a new route. Sean and Freddie were already in place. The bombing phase was about to start, buildings included. Cole would snipe anyone who escaped, the others intercepting head-on. Everyone was set. One signal would drop the charge. Cole locked down a rooftop with his rifle. Freddie's daggers flew, shedding fragments of mana bombs midair. The opposing coach warned his team to stay sharp. Cole looked small, but ignoring him would be fatal. Their leader, Mark, doubted a special tactic was needed. He planned to wait, then wipe them with his destructive shift. He wanted to erase PER in one clean sweep. The daggers hit the ambush point, and the ceiling shook. Mark ordered shields raised overhead. Last time, Cole dropped a building, so this felt familiar. Ether rounds were in play again. Mark assumed Cole was burning mana fast. Then, 3 more daggers appeared in the window. Panic hit as telekinesis took over. Long-range pressure was unexpected. Mark swung his blade, trying to knock the daggers away. It failed. Mana bombs scattered and detonated hard. From afar, Cole lined up a runner. No need to even go inside. The enemies tried ranged attacks, avoiding the blades. Freddie controlled the swords anyway. Resistance collapsed. PER scored 7 points and secured the win. In the first division, LTD's manager never expected this from a 3rd division match. Cole had shaken the league. Even Brandon admitted the kid was more than just talk. Christopher remembered Cole being on their recruit list, but it looks like he was locked in with PER for good. LTD had offered him the best contract in the industry, and he never even considered it. Too late to regret now. Christopher told the 2nd division recruiters to try reaching out anyway. Scott could not believe they actually pulled it off. Cole told Stella this was only the first win and not to get carried away. An interview was still coming. Most likely, Freddie would get MVP of the match. Soon enough, Freddie was invited into the studio to answer a few questions. He thanked the host, reminding everyone that PER had ended last season without a single win. The host asked what preparation flipped the match so hard. Freddie said he simply did what the captain told him to do. He met Cole, following every call without hesitation. Their tactic exploded online, often compared to an artillery strike. Freddie laughed, saying that was exactly how the captain described it. He said Cole's strategy worked flawlessly and earned his total respect. The entire interview turned into praise for Cole. Derek joked that it sounded like Cole was running a cult. Scott agreed, saying that role fit Mr. Phillips perfectly. Cole did not get it at all, and even blushed a little. He asked them to call him by name, like always. Scott was older, anyway. They were probably just hyped that the losing streak was finally broken. This team would only grow stronger. PER was aiming for the division crown. Derek was eating ramen when he noticed Cole getting ready to leave. Weird for a day off. Cole said he had a meeting and told Derek not to slack. The season was still rolling. Cole left, Derek finished his ramen and queued up some shows. Meanwhile, Cole headed to the Hunters League Stadium to meet Michael. Michael had 2 tickets. The gates were already open. The stands were packed as they took their seats. Michael thought Cole looked right at home, like he had been here forever. He almost had. Even in the 3rd division, Cole was still a pro. Michael was glad to see him, worried Cole might have other plans on a weekend. Cole thanked him. Today was Korea versus Japan, and Japan usually dominated. Cole wondered if it was worth coming. Michael reminded him this was still home turf. True, but Japan kept ruling, even with Korea's best 1st division talents. Cole was not happy about the state of things, but reality was reality. Michael said Korean players lacked neither stats nor skills. He wanted Cole to watch closely, because one day he would stand on this stage. When that day came, Michael wanted Cole to remember him. He was friends with a Japanese national player. He suggested meeting after the match. Michael clearly had big hopes for Cole. Cole focused, watching every move on the field. In the end, Japan won by a massive margin. Michael suggested meeting his friend, acting like it did not bother him. Cole knew it still stung. They waited in the corridor until footsteps echoed. It was Takumi Minamino from Japan's national team. Michael hugged his old friend. It had been a long time. Takumi thought Michael should have met with Korea's players instead, but Michael had no interest, saying that generation was already lost and betting on the next. He introduced Takumi to Cole, Japan's most famous and aggressive ranged fighter. Michael said Cole had just debuted in Korea and was a rising star with big plans ahead. Michael had talked Cole up non-stop, so Takumi was curious to finally meet him. The Japanese ace asked if he could test the hero's limits. Michael suggested checking with Cole first. Cole could not recall Takumi Minamino at all, likely not from his generation. Either way, Takumi's stats had to be cracked, with skills like rapid fire. He also packed weakness scan for double damage on repeat hits and raw speed boosts. Turning down a duel with Japan's top ranged monster made 0 sense. So Cole agreed, and Takumi noted the kid had serious guts. Cole hinted that guts were not his only weapon. The head of Korea's team felt despair, sensing the power gap closing in. The coach said growth was real, and they were millimeters from 3 kills. The head was still unhappy, saying that was all the coach could squeeze out. If this kept up, Korea might drop out of the games altogether. The head left. The coach felt crushed, then recalled Christopher scouting Divisions 2 and 3. He asked if Director Lee had found anyone outside LTD. He had, not from LTD itself, like Freddy. With Freddy and the Gravity Control Kid, the national team would gain real trump cards, or even the next-gen star, Cole. Maybe that was exactly what the country needed right now. Still, they were just 3rd division kids on paper. Meanwhile, Cole and Takumi prepped for a virtual duel, and Michael sensed trouble. Takumi was the same hot-blooded beast from their national team days. He called it a test, but really just wanted smoke. Michael asked him to go easy, reminding Cole was still a 3rd division rookie. Takumi promised not to go all out. Cole chuckled, and Michael felt they were cut from the same cloth. Takumi entered the field. The map was Void Plaza, an odd pit. It was a rare arena ruled by wormhole mechanics. Too chaotic for league play, so most teams avoided it. Maybe Cole wanted to throw Takumi off with pure chaos. A rare duel where 2 ranged fighters faced off alone. Normally, ranged types stayed back and shredded frontliners, but Cole had never lost a ranged versus ranged duel. He memorized every wormhole, knowing where each one led. As long as he tracked his foe, he could land shots from anywhere. Cole fired. The bullet slipping through the wormhole Takumi emerged from. Takumi noticed instantly and dashed aside with speed boost. The shot slammed into the wall nearby. A fraction slower, and it would have been a hit. Cole realized the trajectory shifted due to wormhole vibration. Takumi had no clue how Cole read his position so cleanly. Sniping through wormholes was wild tech for a 3rd division kid. Intrigued, Takumi unleashed rapid fire and weakness scan. He plans to level the walls and finish things face to face. Cole saw Takumi smashing walls from spots unreachable by wormholes. The stat gap between them was massive. Takumi aimed to crush Cole purely with raw numbers. Michael watched, stunned that Cole landed the first real strike. His focus broke as someone else arrived. It was Elijah, a Korean national team player, long unseen. Michael offered sympathy for today's brutal match. Elijah was stunned seeing Takumi from Japan on screen and wondered who dared face him. Michael said it was a rising star he had his eye on, holding up better than expected. Elijah was shocked. If Michael mentored him, Elijah would have heard already. What hit harder was that the kid was a rookie, debuting in the 3rd division. Still, it looked brutal. One-on-one with Takumi meant the outcome seemed obvious. Elijah then asked why Michael never visited them, since Minnie missed him. Showing up before the match would have boosted the national team's morale. Michael stayed silent, and Elijah stepped closer to the screen. Michael snapped at him to move, saying this fight mattered more. Elijah was shaken, thinking the duel ended long ago. Then he froze, seeing Cole standing over an exhausted Takumi on screen. Takumi had smashed every wall, yet Cole still looked calm and locked in. The Japanese ace thought he had reached his limit and fired. Cole dodged easily. The ambush failed, but Takumi still had time. He needed to destroy the nearest wormhole and launch another strike. Before he could act, Cole opened fire. It was suppressive fire, with bullets bent by shifting wormholes. Takumi could not dodge that storm. He threw up a shield in desperation. Under that pressure, the shield shattered completely. A delayed shot landed right after, ending Takumi's run. In his past life, Cole always faced one question: what it took to become a great player. His answer was always experience. More precisely, the experience of winning. Takumi replayed the fight as Michael rushed in asking what happened. Takumi said Michael had unleashed a monster. That was all. So Cole won through pure experience, not luck. Takumi did not know when Cole would hit the world stage, but when he did, his fanbase would rival Ethan's. Cole returned to headquarters. Yesterday's duel stayed on his mind. Takumi was a ranged fighter, strong enough to shatter walls. Still, Cole never doubted his victory. Back when times were rough, he focused heavily on duels. His opponent even looked satisfied, despite losing. Derek called Cole, asking what he did to end up on the news. In an interview, Takumi Minamino praised a rising Korean star. That star was Cole Phillips, a 3rd Division League player. Cole said he attended a match with Michael. Derek wondered since when they were close. Everyone realized Cole truly fought Takumi and hoped he grabbed an autograph. They were floored when Cole said it was a duel, and he won. The reaction was explosive, as expected. On paper, Takumi had better stats and skills, but in experience, Cole was unmatched. He spent so long in the game that knowing every map detail was natural. Even so, a slight delay in trajectory math could have flipped the outcome. Freddie said he knew it all along. They just had to trust Cole. His eyes had never shined like that before. Derek added that they should have invited him too. He joked about swinging his sword, and Cole told him to stop. That might work at Derek's peak, but right now, he had no chance. Cole's all-seeing eye had evolved. It likely happened because he pushed it to the limit against Takumi, reading skills and bullet paths. There was no better skill set to grind a team with. It was time to lock in and work for real. Cole laid out his plans for ranked matches to Yusuf. He asked the coach what he thought about the current situation. The season opened with a win, boosting morale and hunger for more. Yusuf thought they should just keep pushing. Few strategies, but one solid win path. Cole disagreed hard. That was not enough. What happens if the Grenadier plan fails? If Cole cannot hard carry alone, defeat is guaranteed. If the strategy collapses, they have 0 options. It must be upgraded or replaced, or the team's foundation must be rebuilt. Right now, each player needs personal growth. So they start with ranked games. Cole gathered Derek, Freddie, and Stella. The coach already briefed them. Derek thought they should focus on team play instead of ranked. Cole said individual growth must come first, or team fights mean nothing. Everyone would play ranked, then review matches with the coach. Later, Cole came to watch, but found a crowd. A famous player was probably fighting. Ben Stone was battling, a melee tank later known as the Knight. His opponent was Caitlin Beatles, a serial demolition specialist. Ben dashed in with acceleration, but Caitlin slipped away using raw firepower. She detonated a mana bomber, turning it into an explosion catalyst. Ben tried to close the gap to escape the bombing pressure. Caitlin was cornered, but she blew Ben up again and took the win. She looked dominant despite Ben's higher rank, though Cole saw it differently. If Ben had handled the mana bombers during his rush, or found another way to get close, he would have won. Ranked games are where class matchups and player choices matter most. To casual viewers, it looked like total Caitlin dominance. In truth, she was walking on a blade's edge. She approached Cole and asked about his division and rank. She must have heard his analysis. Cole said, 3rd Division, PER, rating 1000. She smirked and walked off. She almost got mad at the rookie, unaware he once topped the charts. Freddy's match was next, so Cole moved on. He did not get why Caitlyn followed him. Many hunters were eccentric, and she seemed extra wild. Stella was already in her match. As expected, duels were rough for her. The Hunter Union Training Center hosted players from all divisions. She ranked among the weakest. Stella was shocked to learn Cole was watching. He noted her lack of bow combat experience. Stella had several skills: positional caution and rapid-fire boosting shot tempo, and a potential bind skill that immobilized living targets in set zones. Cole was surprised the bind was A+ rank. If she were a normal ranged fighter, he would teach mana-charged arrows or escape routing, but her kit made that pointless. He felt she should lean into her ability, not the bow. A support staying behind allies, not a frontliner. Stella doubted she could do much with just one skill. For now, maybe. But once Bind fully awakened, she could stop enemies outside her vision. That skill just needed time. No rush. Cole placed a hand on her shoulder. She was already a huge asset, a radar guiding lethal interceptions. That did not excuse skipping training. Stella blushed again. Cole sent her to the training field for a 5-minute survival challenge. Stella knew he was watching and wondered what he wanted. Not that she could hear any answer right now. Dozens of scorpions swarmed her. The Association Center went way beyond normal arenas. It was not just a standard gym. There was a special training zone too, a dungeon built to level scouting skills, designed specifically for scouts. There was no better place to unlock Stella's potential. Cole wanted her grinding all day. Meanwhile, Caitlyn kept tailing him. Hunters really were built different. Scott lost his match and got crushed when he realized both the coach and Cole saw it. Cole told him to chill. He believed Scott had massive potential. Scott had a powerful ability and strong physical stats. His problem was timing and lack of finesse. Raw power without control. Cole told him to focus on studying and watch replays of players with similar styles. Like Ben, the tank with 4,813 points. Cole wanted proof Scott actually learned something. He expected analytical reports after every match. Freddie and Sean had solid rankings. Derek was climbing too. Derek asked for a special tactic to boost his growth. Cole thought Derek could use his weapon glow effect. The challenge was making it actually viable. That girl finally left. No clue why she chased him so hard. Strangely enough, Caitlyn was in a good mood today. She beat Ben, a tough opponent in that format. And she met Cole, the 3rd Division player who beat Takumi. She followed him, hoping to see him fight. But Cole was just training his team. Boring stuff. Honestly, Caitlyn thought his team was trash. Nothing to worry about. Cole and his team kept rolling with the Grenadier tactic. The real question was whether anyone could counter it. After the match, Stella kept training while Cole watched closely. The team was on a win streak, but nothing was guaranteed long-term. Their next opponent was LTD, the first real powerhouse they would face. Yusuf told Cole they should focus fully on preparing for that match. He did not understand why Cole pushed Stella this hard. Cole gave her a task to capture a monster or minion alive, to awaken her skill. Obviously, he could not explain that directly to Yusuf. So he said Stella needed better survivability, starting with mobility. More importantly, she had to learn how attackers think. Cole trained her to think like an aggressor, identifying perfect ambush points and elimination strategies. Yusuf actually bought the explanation. At that moment, a monster shattered Stella's trap. Under pressure, her binding skill finally activated. She collapsed, stunned by what just happened. Cole waited for this. The match with LTD was basically secured. PER and LTD managers met at a press conference. PER had stormed through the season with their new strategy. The host asked Brandon if LTD was ready to resist. He confidently said yes. Some thought revealing that was risky. Honestly, Brandon doubted PER could do anything, regardless. LTD would field a new player next match, rare for their roster. Fans were hyped to see who it was. The conference ended there. Cole tried to figure out who LTD's new player was. Unfortunately, none of their roster names rang a bell. Derek walked up, thinking the hero was watching a leaked clip of a rookie. Cole said to stop joking. LTD were not dumb enough to let their trump card leak. Derek stayed serious and pointed at the screen. It was Levi Stark. The hero did not expect to see him this early. In Cole's past life at LTD, Levi was the first to join after him. In one line, Levi was a support who outclassed ranged fighters. His ability was S+ rank, capable of crushing an entire strategy alone. The match started. Cole told the team to use the Grenadier plan. This time, bombs dropped the moment 3 or more enemies group up. They needed to wipe as many foes as possible before a full regroup. Once mana bombs ran dry, Freddy and Sean would join the main squad. Stella asked for orders. Cole told her to wait. She reported enemies gathering in a southern building. Blowing it up could potentially wipe them all. But Cole said to strike before they fully grouped. Freddy instantly locked the coordinates. He launched daggers with bombs attached. They dropped and killed 2 enemies running to regroup. The rest were inside the southern building. Cole's team regrouped. It looked like a steamroll. LTD seemed ordinary. Freddy noted the enemies were stacked. 1 bomber would not be enough. Time for trump cards. Bombs drop. Siege team pushes before dust clears. Cole knew Levi's ability and how it could counter this plan, but the team had to see it themselves. Every strategy had a usage limit. Freddy launched the daggers, but the bombs exploded midair. It was Levi, just as Cole expected. Adam fell deep into thought. Levi was once a normal kid from a safe tower zone. That changed when monsters invaded his life. The chairman took him in many years ago. Back then, Levi shouted about revenge against monsters. He devoted himself to training for that goal. Before he was ready, the last monster dungeon was cleared. With no target for rage, Levi sank into depression and left Adam. The chairman never knew where he went, never expecting LTD. Of all people, he now fought Cole. This match mattered to Adam more than any other. Derek worried about the blast, but Cole told him not to panic. 2 enemies were already down. It was 5 versus 7. PER had the advantage and stuck to the plan. Cole told Sean and Freddy to join him, Stella to wait. The guys stormed the building where enemies hid. Cole did not want this to turn into a head-on brawl. Freddy opened the attack first, surprisingly clean for a 3rd division team. Levi realized Sean and Freddy were trying to lock him down. Bad news. He could not handle that many alone. Levi bounced across platforms with air steps as Freddy aimed. Then Levi triggered his pulse, knocking everyone around off balance. The team staggered, gear falling. Levi admitted PER were legit. Compared to Adam, they were nothing. The outcome was expected. The Grenadier strategy was all they had from the start. Meanwhile, Derek lunged at one of the enemies. While distracted, another opponent immobilized him. Derek was taken out of the match, finished by a clean sword strike. Levi thought it would be easy, but he forgot about Cole. The platforms were placed with purpose. The hero had set everything up for maximum shooting precision. Levi ducked behind a wall, realizing Cole might be just as good, maybe better. The swordsman tried to knock the pistol away, but it was pointless. From 4 fighters, only 3 remained. Sean was still fine. He thanked the hero for buying precious time. 2 enemies stayed outside. Cole told Freddy and Sean to handle them. The hero went straight for Levi. Time to end this fight. The commentator noted the push looked suicidal, yet Cole proved otherwise with pure skill. The hero had shocked crowds in scrims, training, and matches before, but this was the first time he showed such crushing power in a direct duel. Still, the opponent was dangerous. It was unclear who truly held the edge. Cole had dropped 2 LTD members, but that meant little in a one-on-one. If Levi predicted his movement, the pulse skill would seal the win. It came down to a battle of minds. Experience would decide everything. Cole was a fresh pro. Adam wondered if he could really pull this off. 3-time International League champion, 3-time off-season champion, 8 MVP awards, 4 All-Star wins, plus victories in smaller tournaments. Those were Cole's past achievements, the pride he carried. When it came to game sense, the hero believed no one surpassed him. The duel raged on. Levi admitted Cole was strong, but the pulse remained the question. The ground shook violently. The hero's mana shield would not last. Then he would end Levi right now. His training with Adam had paid off. He gathered mana while dodging incoming shots. Levi clearly aimed to knock Cole out mid-air. The hero signaled Stella to be ready. Air currents would reveal Levi's next move. The moment Levi stopped to cast, Stella bound his arm. He lacked enough mana and was frozen in place. If Cole let him escape now, his sniper legend would crumble. Those were the last thoughts before the final shot rang out. Levi fell, and Team PER claimed victory. Adam was stunned. He never knew Stella had such a skill. Cole understood exactly how success was forged. Suddenly, someone called the chairman at that moment, asking if he saw the match. Of course he had. Cole was a thorn to him. The caller agreed. Cole outshined Levi. The man suggested bringing Cole over sometime. His daughter loved watching the match. Strange. Eliza never cared about lower divisions. What sparked this interest? In the locker room, Freddie typed furiously, telling the tale of Cole crushing LTD. Cole walked up and smacked his head, wondering what he was doing. Judging by the silence, Freddie would keep typing once Cole turned away. The hero was named MVP of the match and told to prep for an interview. The host called it a phenomenal game and asked if Cole expected the win. Of course he did. The crowd seemed to forget his words at season start. He had claimed no team would stand, and top squads would hate losing to them. The host remembered that press conference. Back then, it shook the whole scene and set the league on fire. Now they rolled the best moment of the match and broke it down together. Fans voted the top moment as Levi getting bound and Cole landing the finishing shot. The hero was asked what ran through his head and whether the duel was planned from the start. Tell the truth or flex a little. Stirring the pot would make it way more entertaining. Levi was obviously tilted. In a past life, every win like this turned the air toxic. So Cole said he is always ready for a duel. Nothing there was unexpected. Still, he admitted the enemy headliner, some guy named Larry, caught his attention. The host panicked and corrected him quietly, saying the name was Levi. Cole doubled down, calling Levi average and saying he walked straight into a clean trap. Not Levi's failure, just Cole being built different. The guy was clearly furious. This moment would shape Levi's first real impression of the hero. Maybe Cole pushed too far, and that was perfect because interviews are supposed to hit hard.